All right, everyone. A very good morning from the flight deck once again. Captain Nabs is here with you for another flight in the in my pilot's life career. Just a little frustrated right now. I've been trying for, I guess, almost 30 minutes now to get this up and running here, and my streaming software has been giving me some issues here. I hope that it's actually working properly now. Let's just have a quick little look-see here. I'm just going to run this as a quick audio test here. And yeah, you guys, you can hear me now, right? I had to pause for a second. Okay, sorry. That is a terrible joke. It's just been one of those days, as I'm sure you guys have all had, where just nothing seems to want to work. And this is one of those hobbies that is incredibly frustrating sometimes to get yourself up and running. And I've had many people express to me, friends express to me, and I've had the same thing where just you spend all the time you were planning on actually enjoying your hobby, trying to go flying and do whatever else. You spend most of it just trying to get up and running sometimes, and then you get the sim finally up and running, and you're like, "Well, I'm out of time. It's time for bed, or I got to go to work, or whatever." And it's so frustrating. So I hope you guys are. I thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you're not too disappointed. It took a little longer than I had hoped. I had tried it last night and it seemed to work, and then I rebooted the computer this morning, as I always do before I start a stream, and it just did not work. The audio, I cannot get it to work. I forced it through by putting it through a different output. I'm not going to be able to hear it that well, but hopefully it'll come through on stream. So let me know if the airplane audio is too loud or too quiet or anything, because I really will honestly not know. I just the normal monitoring system that I have in place is not working, but I've managed to force it, so it's going to hopefully at least output some audio into the stream, into the system. It should work if I've set everything up correctly. Famous last words. All right, so we've got a flight to get underway here. Today we are in the Aerosoft CRJ once again. I'm working for Endeavour Airlines, and we are going from JFK to Syracuse and back. It's a really short couple of flights here, New York to Syracuse and back. So these it's 181 miles. It's like 45-minute flying time. Really short flights. So these are going to be, they can be a little bit different, but it's going to be kind of fun to try and get the whole turn done in about 3 hours to try and keep it on time, more or less. So I'm going to hop right in the flight deck and get going here, because if I don't, we're not going to get out of here on time. So let's hop right into that flight deck. Let's get this whole show started here today. And actually, I realized a couple things is that I have not even logged into VATSIM yet. So give me one moment here while I just fire up my vPilot. And I don't even know my flight number. It says I literally spent the last 30 minutes, more than 30 minutes, instead of getting ready for the stream, just troubleshooting, just trying to get. So I filed the flight plan. I actually did the flight plan after last night really quickly. So hopefully that. What are we in today? We're in the CRJ 900, are we not? Yeah, it's a 900. Yeah, so instead of filing the flight plan and getting all my kind of other stuff ready, so I hope that everything is more or less set up correctly, because I literally just sort of sat down in the flight deck, as it were. I have not had any time to sort of get this stuff ready. So, oh look, we do have New York approach. Nice, excellent. All right, so we're going to get this show underway here pretty quickly. So let's just get some electrical power established to this airplane here, and actually let me pull out my CRJ checklist, because I should have a CRJ checklist here. All right. And what am I doing here? You know what I'm doing? I'm also forgetting. That's not the CRJ checklist. That's the CRJ checklist. What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting my FS2 crew. Let's see here. Aerosoft CRJ. Again, I feel so out of it. And I just, and I do these streams and I just want to have fun. I just want to get on here. I just want to have some fun with you guys, do some flying, and it turns into such an ordeal every time. And it's not that I mind at all. It's just, it shouldn't be this hard to get this kind of thing going. You know what I mean? And then it's going to retract the jet bridge because it thinks it's, oh, for crying out loud. Let's start setting up.
Roger. All right, I'm out for the walk around.
Okay, hopefully he does okay. This is probably going to ask for registration because I launched it the wrong way. Oh, no, it actually worked the first time. Okay, so bring back the bridge. There we go. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead through the safety checklist here. Circuit breakers are closed. Nose wheel steering switch is disengaged. Hydraulic pumps are all off. Landing gear lever is down. Flight spoiler lever is retracted. Radar is off. ADG manual stow is stowed. Emergency flap switch is normal. Battery master on. And APU we're not going to do, but why do you not have ground power on? You should have ground power on right off the bat. Ground power on. IRSs to nav. Emergency equipment all check. Gear safety pins check. And let me know how that volume balance is, if that's too quiet you guys can't even hear it. It sounds okay to me, but like I said, I'm not using my normal monitoring system, which really kind of bugs me. Hydraulic pump 3A on off, FMS initialization complete. Okay, so we just got to start this FMS getting going here, and while we're also doing that, let's also how do I get rid of all of that information? There we go. Really, Windows Firewall? Yes, Pushback Express is allowed to access. Ugh, some days. Okay. So let's get my self-loading cargo here, ready for boarding.
I come through, we're ready to get going now, so as soon as
and something else that's a little bit new and a little bit fun. Did decide to get GSX finally for my aircraft, or for my sim. So the GSX Pro is now installed in the sim, and we can do some nice stuff with it. And we can request boarding. And we should. We won't see anybody coming down, but it should call the... Oh, for crying out loud, stop bringing the bridge back and forth. Why do you... This is one of those annoying things. Like, all these programs assume that no other program's running. They don't check the bridge status. And maybe it's a Microsoft API limitation, but nobody checks the bridge status. Everyone just cycles the bridge. So that the bridge is on, the bridge is off, the bridge is on, the bridge is... oh, my God. Some of these things, these softwares, and I think part of it is Microsoft does not provide a good API that tells everybody where the bridge is. So, all right, and I don't even have my tablet. I don't even have my my CDU ready to go here, which is just, again, I'm more than a little frustrated right now over the way things are not working when they're supposed to. Alright, so, let's see here. I need my Avia server online, or this doesn't work. Alright, and let's see if I can, yes. '08. Oh, for crying out loud. I've had to... you're going to see all sorts of stuff happen, unfortunately, this time around. There we go. I had a little issue with Windows, and I had to reinstall Windows completely, which, of course, has resulted in me having to reinstall almost everything, which is more than a little frustrating sometimes to deal with. So you're going to see some stuff pop up that has not popped up before for that reason, because I'm just restarting Windows and reinitializing everything. So, yeah, more than a little frustrating sometimes. Okay, maybe that's a good idea. All right. Okay, so we got the active database here. It is correct. Let's initialize the position for the aircraft. Grab it from page 2 and go back from the GNSS position. And we can initialize the IRS that way. And we're just going to go into the flight plan page here. And I'm going to drag across my browser with my flight plan into here so you guys can follow along as we set this up here really quickly. Hopefully that should look good.
We are pretty much ready to go up here.
Yep, let's just get that a little smaller so you guys can see what we're doing here. So we are going today from KJFK to KSYR.
Okay, great. We're all next up.
And the alternate, if we needed, is to come all the way back here to JFK anyways. It's just they probably would cancel the flight at that point rather than try and go again.
Go ahead, flight tech.
Nobody's talking to you. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Now we did get a clearance here while we were sitting here waiting. So let's see here. We got this clearance from New York. Did not reply to the message. Pre-departure clearance. Call sign Dep Brief 4730. CRJ departure. JFK Syracuse Squawk 1005. I'll put that in a second. Plane altitude 240. Neon Jet 223. Chords Binghamton. Victor 29, Syracuse, departure 128.12, altitude restrictions, climb via the SID, but he didn't assign a SID. Oh, wait, there it is, departure procedure, score 4. See, I hate when you put the climb via the SID before you put the SID in there. Yankee transition, there we go. All right. And, KJFK ATIS. And, approach and use, departing runway 31 left, so let's plan on that. Departure 31 left, perfect, execute that part, and then it's a fairly straightforward routing, as we pointed out there, and it looks like what he cleared us is what we filed. 223 chords, Binghamton, Victor 29, Syracuse. I noticed he's got an altitude change in there that I don't think we had filed. Interesting. He's got that already programmed in there for us. Okay, so we got score 4. Did the fuel truck ever show up? No, fuel truck's showing up right now. Okay, so Neon, Jet 223 to Chords.
That's great, thank you.
Victor 29, SYR, and then direct after that. And I don't even know, it says we're going to arrive 33, so I'm going to put an arrival in there for Syracuse right now so it kind of completes the flight plan. I'll call it an RNAV 33, sure, cheat down transition. I don't know. We're going to analyze it once we get going anyways. So that's the flight plan is all done, and then we can go into the performance section and give ourselves a flex temperature of 46, perfinit, and what we actually need to do, of course, is initialize our performance over here. So we're showing 72 people today, so let's do that. Increase the cargo ever so slightly. Is the fueler ready yet? Or did he just screw off? He just screwed off. I think that's you there, isn't it? Sorry, I'm making you guys wait. Yeah, he just went away. So what we're going to do is we're just going to look at this fuel that's in our flight plan here and just add it inside here, 13.2. Now, that seems like a lot to go to Syracuse, and it is, and the whole reason why we're loading so much fuel just to go to Syracuse is because I don't plan on loading fuel for the trip back. Company's tankering fuel. We get fuel really cheap in JFK. Syracuse, we'll say, is very expensive. So we're going to tanker hopefully enough fuel for the return trip. We'll see what the actual flight plan says once we get going here. But that's the plan anyways, is to tanker enough fuel out there. I think it's at 13.2, right? Yeah, 13.2. Yeah, it's going. Okay, perfect. All right, so while that's filling, we can set the payload in the simulator and copy the init data to the FMS, which is just easier than putting it in myself. I could put it in myself. It doesn't hurt, but just easier sometimes. All right, 24,000 feet is our cruise altitude today. And if we check page 1 of our flight plan again here, we'll see that we have a wind, Alternate cruise altitude first, sorry. Get my airplanes confused. I forget which airplane I'm in sometimes. Perfin at page 2, that's where we need the wind and the temperature. So it's ISA plus 0, so it's bang on ISA. 269 at 36 is the average wind. So we're going to counter on this, so 269 at 36 is the average wind. And last but not least, VNAV setup. It likes to cruise at 0.77. It really doesn't matter anyways today because we're not going up that high, so we're probably not going to ever transition into Bach numbers. And that's it. The FMS is all set up. We can go ahead and get ready to set up the rest of this flight deck here. So we've got the electrical powers on, AC powers on. Generators are all on. Fire detection. And we didn't put on either the nav. Lights, we didn't really do a very good job getting the initial cockpit setup done here. Okay, our cockpit prep now, we'll go through it all here. Alright, APU door is open. APU is starting, and while that's starting, let's just go flip over really quickly and have a quick hide test here. On, on. Everybody seems to get pressurized. Auto, auto, auto. Everyone depressurizes. Awesome. Put pump 3 on. Go back to the status page. The APU is about half started up. Alright, cabin elevation, I really don't know. We're going to figure that out once we get going here. Packs on, recirc fan on, and windshield heat is warming up. And passenger signs. We got the no smoking sign on. We're looking for 13.4 on the fuel here, and it looks like it is done, so we can go ahead and shut this panel. And seatbelts on. Alright, let's go back to the ATIS for a second, just grab that altimeter 3018. 3018. You know, it'd be really nice sometimes too is to have a first officer, and not just this guy who doesn't do much. But to have like a real human being first officer, like shared flight deck would be such a great thing in this sim. And one day we'll do it. Test the CDR. Green light. Thank you. Stall test. That's weird. Should I go? Definitely pushes forward. Alright, that's odd. Climb via the SID. Let's pull up that SID while we're at it here. And, of course. nothing is ready. Oh my god. This is supposed to be fun. And I feel like some days this has just lost its sense of fun, you know? Not what I'm trying to do here. And once we get going, like, I'm always having fun, but just like trying to troubleshoot these issues sometimes and get these things underway, it's way more hassle than it should be. These sims should just work, honestly. Alright, so the SID, the score 4, looking for a top altitude in this here. Maintain 5,000. Alright, that's what I kind of thought. Oh, that's 52. $5,000. Alright, perfect. Just go through this really quickly here. Anti-skid off, on, goes away. I don't know about you, but that stuff sounds really quiet to me. Like, I'm gonna turn up all the background sound a little bit because like I can barely hear it. Maybe it's just me. Let me know if it is too loud. That's disarmed, closed, idle, up. And let's get the New York approach frequency up there because we got to start testing this out here. Let's see here. This should be outputting here. And the frequency for New York approach is 2812. I can hear it like constantly closing the door in the background too, and I don't know why. That's what happens when I haven't, like, I have flown a little bit, but I really haven't flown that much this week. And I don't know which of these things is trying to close that door. It's self-loading cargo is stuck in a little loop there. I'm going to try and get that fixed in a minute there. All right, so it's normal. Let's get these Dep, Mach trim, yaw damper. All right, now parking brakes on. I feel like that is way too loud now. And I find this, for some reason, like VATSIM defaults to being very loud. I don't know why. I always have to turn VATSIM down now. And it never used to be the way, but it's like for some reason, the last couple of audio VATSIM updates, something changed. It's really loud. Okay.
Expected 804, read back correct, position structure discretion, expect runway 6 for departure, TTAB altimeter 3017 and vessel for taxi.
Originating check.
Stand by.
If I want to stop from doing this, I just take away that bridge. We'll do it in a minute here. Let's see it. Turn off the crew here because I can't hear what he's saying. Set and checked.
Complete right. Gear pins.
Removed.
New York approach, good morning. American 141, descending through 1.
Set and checked.
Removed. The yaw test.
Why don't I have a prompt for this anymore? There it is. Complete.
Ice detector test.
Complete.
Stall test.
Complete.
Flux.
1345 set left.
1, 3, 4, 5. Set right. CBR test.
Complete.
MLG overheat test.
Complete.
Radar test.
Complete.
Originating check complete.
Are you ready for the departure briefing? Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to taxi out today. That's what I'm looking for. We're going to taxi out today from the terminal here. We're parked in Kennedy here, down at the end of the international terminal. We're going to taxi for departure runway 31 left. It's going to be probably pretty short taxi out Kilo Foxtrot, Bravo Juliet Zulu, or as otherwise instructed. The SID today is the score for RNAV departure. So this is plate 20-3 Charlie, 4th of February 2022. I'm just going to make this bigger so I can actually see the whole chart at once here. Let's see here, score 4. So for 31 left, climb heading 314. Let's see if this is in here. 314, intercept course of 238 to score. So straight ahead, 314, intercept course 238 to score. And then maintain 5,000, expect clearance to file departure altitude 5 minutes after departure. So we've got score, we're actually doing the Yankee transition, so we also have CSID above 2,500 and Yankee. And we'll get vectors en route. Let's see here, terrain is not much to think about here in New York. 3,000 over Manhattan, we'll do everything. Weather is good, operational. Everything seems to be functional. Didn't see any pertinent NOTAMs. One thing I realized, of course, SimTit Toolkit Pro is not running either, which is why I don't have an overlay yet. All the things I haven't done yet because I'm rushing too much. Any questions?
No questions.
Before start checklist. Before start checklist down to the line. Oh, for crying out loud. Just do engine start check. Yep. Okay. Engine start. Engine start check.
APU.
On. 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 Set and checked.
Takeoff data, set 476689 pounds. V-speeds are V1, 143, VR, 144, V2, 154, VFTO, 202. Left seat, set right.
Set left.
Trims engaged and centered, 7.5. Seatbelt and shoulder harness.
Checked left.
Checked right. All helps.
On auto. Auto and on.
Beacon.
On.
Are you positive? Those will scan.
Off.
Doors.
Closed.
Start check blue.
Alright. Let's prepare for pushback and departure, and I haven't set the squawk code yet, so let's get that in there. And I don't know what's making that music. If it's self-loading cargo, I think it is. Self-loading cargo seems to be stuck in a loop, and I've had this problem a few times now where self-loading cargo does not like to do anything anymore. Where was it here? Squawk was 1005. So let's get that in there. Alright. And I don't know if self-loading cargo is going to figure it out eventually. I may just have to give up on it. Alright, we can go ahead. Parking brakes on. Go ahead and take the shocks out. And we are ready to get underway here. Let me just... And now, of course, my overlay is not working. Give you 1 second. We'll see if we can get that to restart here. Okay, it'll be tail left. I'll be right back as soon as I can figure out if this is going to work or not. There we go. Got it working. Not a great day so far. Hopefully the flying goes better than everything else does. Okay, so this guy's just about hooked up and ready to go. Just waiting for him to call me and say he's ready. And I don't know if self-loading cargo is going to recognize that it works. Guys, are we ready? Did we lose our audio here? What's the deal here? Let's try taking the park brake off and see if it goes. Huh. I turned down. Oh, you know what? Yeah. You know what it did? Yeah, so I'm not getting any of the audio from GSX now. So frustrating. Nothing is working today. Nothing is compatible anymore. That's what happens when you have too many new things working together. I'm just going to start the engine. Starting engine 1.
Starting engine 1.
What? Okay, getting there. Alright, so he's doing it now. He's got the fuel flowing, and I did put the fuel pumps on somehow. It's not in the checklist for some reason. Don't understand why.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is secure. All doors, contact, we're ready to go.
Thank you.
I think I have too many add-ons running at the same time, and I can't keep track of everything that's going on with these stupid add-ons. But I think because I've curmudgeoned myself into a separate audio device, that's why GSX is not working and showing any audio properly here. Yeah,
Engine 1 start complete.
that's why. Start engine 2.
Starting engine 2.
And now that totally screwed up GSX by changing the audio device. Ugh. At least it got the pushback done. Oh my god. Cannot do anything today. Alright. He's getting that engine started for me at least. I don't hear much in the way of the engine sound either. It sounds really quiet. The engine sounds really quiet. A lot of the other stuff sounds really loud. The engine sounds really gosh darn quiet. I don't know if it sounds quiet to you guys, but it sounds really quiet to me. Oh, you know what it is? It's not the...
American 141 heavy descent maintenance 7,000.
Engine.
Okay, down 7,000, American 141.
I swear...
American 5 Golf 3 Lima leaving my airspace.
No, it
New
is.
Center
It's...
of line radar services terminated. Frequency change approved. Have a nice flight. See you. Delta 2177 Skok.
It is the self-loading cargo that is playing that music, and I wish it would stop.
American 141 turn right heading 25.
Cannot get anything to work today, can I?
Right down
After start checklist.
250, American 141.
Before taxi check. No, I think I wiped it out, didn't I? Ah. You know what? To hell with you. I've wiped out my FS2 crew.
Runway 4 taxi via Bravo. American 141 descend and maintain 4,000.
See if I can get it.
Okay, we'll continue down 4,000, American 141.
Because I really like it. Like, it helps me so much to have just this extra feedback. So let's get these probes going here.
New York departure, Delta 237 with information Bravo, holding turn Alpha, ready for taxi.
Delta 237 New York departure. Runway 31 left, taxi
Hold on
right.
1 second.
Alpha Golf Zulu, cross runway 4 left.
31 left via Alpha Juliet Zulu, cross 4 left, Delta 237.
Delta 237 Alpha Golf Zulu.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this guy to do his after start check.
Delta 237.
After start
correct,
procedure.
Alpha Golf Zulu.
Thank you.
Oh, I know how to do that. You don't really put it on flight control. That's what makes it do it. I've forgotten more than I realized of this airplane. I've been spending so much time studying my new airplane, I've completely forgotten everything I should know about this airplane. We can't arm that until we've tested all the flight controls. There he goes. He's sort of caught up to me now. Wow, this takes so much effort to get going here. As you can tell, I'm becoming more and more frustrated minute by minute as this goes here. It's just not working well. Pre-taxi check.
APU.
Set.
Anti-ice. Set. Electrics.
Set. Checked.
Nose wheel steering.
Armed.
Flaps. Flaps 8. Set.
Flaps 8 confirmed. flaps 8 confirmed.
Flight controls.
Check
American
left.
141, heavy
Check
turn right
Big
heading
X, check,
280, maintain 4000.
Okay, right turn at 280.
Okay, we're ready to
maintain
get going
4000,
here.
American 141.
Just check and make sure that this thing is going to track me here. It says stage pre-flight. It does not know that we're taxiing. How does it not know that we're taxiing now? Oh, for crying out loud. How does it not know that we're taxiing, and how do I make it force it to find out that we're taxiing? FSUIPC should have told it that we're taxiing. Oh my god. Some days it just does not pay to try and do this. FSUIPC should be up and running already. Why are you not up and running? I'm just getting ready to rage quit here because this is just not working for me today. FSUIPC is already running, so how does it know? How does it know, and why does it not think that we are up and running here? So taxi out. Minimum 1 engine running, ground speed bigger than 5. Okay. So I'm just impatient here.
New York approach, United 231 with you on the...
There it is, taxi out. Okay, it is working.
Uh,
Ugh, my gosh.
Through 13,000 for 7,000.
Not my day.
And we have information Alpha.
United 231, New York approach, good morning. Depart Hawker heading 160, expect Dallas runway 4 right approach, New York altimeter 3018.
Heading 160 from crank, and expect runway 4 right, and 3018 on the altimeter, United 231.
United 231, that's negative. Depart Hawker, Hotel Oscar Kilo India Romeo, heading 160.
Depart Hawker at heading 160, United 231.
American 141, 8 miles from Maldives, fly heading 280, fly heading 280, excuse me. American 141, 8 miles from Maldives, fly heading 280, descend and maintain 3000 until established on the localizer, clear ILS runway 31 right approach.
Okay, descend and maintain 3,000, cleared ILS approach runway 31 right. We'll report established, American 141.
New York approach, Endeavor 4750 is, or correction, 4730 is short of Kilo Foxtrot, ready for taxi with Bravo.
So you were blocked. Say it one more time, sir.
Endeavor 4730, short Kilo Foxtrot with Bravo, ready taxi.
Again blocked. Is it Endeavor 4730 calling for taxi?
Affirmative, Endeavor 4730, ready for taxi.
Okay, Endeavor 4730, runway 31 left, taxi via left, Bravo, Juliet, Zulu, cross runway 4 left.
Left Bravo, Juliet, Zulu, cross runway 4 left for 31 left, Endeavor 4730. Make sure I do know where we're going here.
I got it. Executive 804, runway 1, taxi via Quebec.
I thought I saved you, stupid things.
Runway 6, I'm sorry. Runway 6, taxi via Quebec. Tela 2177, wind 340 at 7, runway 4, clear for takeoff.
Alright, so it is Bravo, Juliet, Zulu, as expected.
American 141, wind 350 at 12, runway 31 right, clear to land.
Copy the wind, clear to land.
Alright, we're underway. Took
right,
a lot
American
longer than I
141.
expected.
New York departure, Delta 237, holding short 3 on left.
Delta 237, wind 350 at 12, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
And clear for takeoff, 31 left, Delta 237.
I see you going there.
Delta 649, go ahead. Delta 649, runway 4, taxi via Bravo.
Alright, I'm going to try and bring back self-loading cargo and see if it got rid of that music. No, it did not. Why, oh why, oh why do you have music going? Why can I not stop it? That's the really annoying part. Why does it not stop?
Fly the T-Table 4 departure, wind 320 at 9 and runway 6 clear for takeoff.
Alright, self-loading cargo, you've become useless to me.
Yes, affirmative. Climb and maintain 3000.
Why you won't stop playing music in the background, I don't know. Now I figured it out. Press the music button. Too obvious. Before taxi, check to the line. Before takeoff, check to the line.
Flight attendants, take your seat for departure, please.
Which one of
Cabin
these?
has been notified.
Zulu.
Crossflow manual. Thrust reversers armed.
Yankee
Takeoff
in there.
data set for runway 36. RNAV first fix identified. 5,000 feet pre-selected.
Set.
New York approach, good morning.
Set.
Cape Air 102
Midfield
requesting
confirmed.
GFR clearance to
Takeoff
LaGuardia.
big.
Checked.
Checked. For takeoff, check to the line complete.
Say your call sign one more time.
This is Cape Air 102.
Cape Air 102, what airport you're calling from?
Actually, New York approach, disregard for Cape Air 102.
Roger. Delta 2177, radar contact, altitude leaving.
Leaving 2,300 feet, Delta 2177.
Delta 2177, climb and maintain 15,000.
Climb maintain 15,000, Delta 2177.
Endeavour 4730, short 31 left.
And 4730, wind 350 at 12, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
31 left, clear for takeoff, Endeavour 4730. Before takeoff, checklist below the line.
Traffic 11 o'clock, 6
NES.
miles.
Off.
C700, same
Set.
direction, level 3000.
Gas.
Checked.
We're looking Delta 2177.
Checked. For takeoff, check below the line complete.
Jet 804 is level 3000, next to 80204.
Exit 804, radar contact, proceed direct Brazy, maintain, climb and maintain 5000.
Up to 5000, direct Breezy, Jet 804.
Delta 2177, proceed
My
direct
scenery's probably not
now.
nicer than yours. It's probably just the
Navigation.
Navigation.
the video codec probably makes it look nicer. Runway heading checked.
237, radar contact, turn left heading 050, climb and maintain 11,000.
Left heading 050 and up to 11,000, Delta 237.
Set thrust.
Thrust.
United 231, descend and maintain 6000.
80
Down to
knots.
6,000.
Checked.
United 231.
100.
V1, rotate.
New York approach, Cape Air 102, currently at Westchester, requesting VFR clearance to LaGuardia.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Speed mode,
Cape
nav mode.
102, New York departure. Cleared it to the New York Bravo airspace via radar vectors. Maintain VFR at 3000. Squawk 020.
Climb sequence.
Alright, we'll clear into the Bravo airspace via radar vectors. We'll maintain VFR 3 feet, squawk 0201, Cape 10.
Cape 102.
Select autopilot on.
Push start your discretion. Departure on this frequency.
Select autopilot
and
on.
Expect runway 34 for departure. Advise for taxi.
We'll expect 34 will measure a taxi, Cape 102. Thank you.
New York departure, American 141. We're clear of runway 31 right on taxiway Whiskey. Looking to go to gate 16.
Alright, we're going to set speed to
American
10.
141, welcome to Kennedy. Taxi to the ramp via Whiskey.
After takeoff, check.
Taxi to the rail via Whiskey, American 141.
American approach, Cape 102, ready for taxi. And New York approach, Cape 102, requesting runway 11 for departure.
Endeavor 4730, airborne through 3800.
Stand by.
Roger.
Endeavor 4730, airborne through 4200.
4730, radar contact, climb and maintain 7000.
7000, Endeavor 4230.
Cape 102, runway 11, taxi via Kilo.
Runway 11 via Kilo, Cape 102.
Speed mode.
Exit 804, climb and maintain 7000.
7,000 is your point.
There goes 7000.
Delta 649, I'm seem to have a stock parking right here at the gate.
Alt capture.
I'm sorry, sir, say one more time.
I don't know if the scenery is necessarily that much better, but I think the codec probably makes it look better. It smooths everything out a lot more.
Seem to have a
It also
stock
broadcasts at a
parking
much
right
lower
here.
resolution than, man.
Sorry, blocked.
Locked. New York approach, Cape 102, holding sugar runway 11 at Kilo, ready for departure.
Okay, Cape 102, fly the left downwind departure. Wind 360 at 10, runway 11, clear for takeoff.
We'll fly the left downwind departure, clear for takeoff, runway 11, Cape 102, thanks.
And 4730, turn left heading 050, climb and maintain 17,000.
Left turn 05017,000, Endeavor 5730.
Delta 237, proceed direct to Merit, climb and maintain 17,000.
050 15,000.
Delta 237, proceed direct to Merit, resume on navigation, climb and maintain 17,000.
Direct Merit and resume on navigation up to 1.7, Delta Security Sector 9.
Alright, 15,000.
2325 radio staff.
Cal's off.
Near departure, good morning, TPC 111.
I really am not making much use of that
Yeah,
FS Troop
NDG
because I'm not used to him
25
again now. I haven't flown the CRJ very much lately, honestly. It's a fun little airplane, but I really have not flown it much, so I'm feeling like completely like a fish out of water in this thing right now.
Say call sign. Stand by. Delta 21,
I don't know
77, leaving
how
airspace,
obvious that is, but I feel like I'm struggling with this thing right now. And not because it's hard, but because so much of my brain has been invested in a different airplane lately. I feel very out of it in this aircraft right now.
TPC 3111 cleared to Kilo India Alpha Golf Airport. New York for departure area vectors to Galen and filed.
Okay, just gonna try and take a little moment of relaxation here because boy, it was just way too much work and effort to get this whole thing going here. Nothing seems to really seem to kind of want to work for me this morning.
Okay, we're cleared. I forgot to. We can repeat.
Here comes 10,000.
The departure, and then we're going to climb to 3,000. Then expect 40,000 to the departure. We're going to stay with you on this frequency for departure frequency, and then 1076.
All right, 10,000.
TPC 3111 is the New York 4 departure.
We can
Rest
get
of the
the
feedback
speed up
correct. Push and start your discretion. Expect
290.
4 left for departure. New York altimeter 3019.
Lights off.
By steady
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the seatbelts on until we get past some of this here. And
We're gonna expect the New York
quick pressurization check. Cabin is pressurizing. Looking good.
Taylor 237 contact Boston Center 134.7. Have a good flight.
And we'll have to hope that Syracuse weather's pretty good here.
That's 237, good night.
I don't know if I have a IFR approach in me, but it looks like a nice day.
KJFK-KSYR-102, we're on the left downwind flight following.
Locked.
102, radar contact on left heading 220.
All right, we got
Left heading
221.5 up
220,
at number
KJFK
2. Accelerated to 290.
231 descendment and 5,000.
Feel like this controller's struggling a little bit with
231
the number of airplanes he's got.
Down to 5,000, United 231.
Not necessarily struggling, but he's definitely working hard to keep up with it all.
And F4730, proceed direct neon, resume on navigation, leaving my airspace, New York Center offline. Frequency change approved, nice flight.
All right, direct to Neon and over to advisory for Endeavour 4730. Have a great day.
See you.
Delta 2325 information, Charlie ready for push and start.
Taylor 2325, push and start your discretion, call for taxi.
Push and start out.
All right.
Call for taxi.
So now I'm going to bring the power back. I'm just going to get the airplane climbing to 24 here.
We get higher.
And I don't know why it didn't want to go direct to Neon.
Your call sensor?
Exit jet 804.
Exit 804, maintain 7,000 till Caramel VR.
Okay, maintain 7,000 until Caramel VR.
I don't know why it doesn't want to go direct to
Taylor
Neon.
102, expect runway 4.
We'll expect runway 4, Taylor 1026.
There we go. Now it's figured it out. Now we're in FMS mode. We're climbing at 319. We don't need to climb at 319. Let's bring it back to 290 for the climb. Now it looks like we're above all the clouds. We can get the seatbelt sign off. And there we're going. Ooh, that seems like a lot of work to get going here. Alrighty, transition. Standard. Standard set and cross check passing 194.
Lucky 15 New York departure, push and start your discretion, call.
Alright, and we can go back to Unicom now, because he sent us over to Unicom. So many things to do all at once here, too. By yourself, a lot of work. The co-pilot needs a stern closed door meeting on the ground in Syracuse. Yeah, he's not quite cutting it. I don't think it's the first officer's fault. I think it's the captain's fault. I think the captain is just not in the game today, unfortunately. Not just not feeling like I'm up to my normal level here, but sometimes it's the way it is. Sometimes you don't perform at your normal level. This is it can be a grueling business. You know, schedule is just all over the place. Part of it, I think, is also my schedule. Yesterday, I got up really early to go and do a familiarization flight, and didn't get to bed that early last night. So I'm feeling tired. I'm not feeling tired this morning, but I'm definitely feeling like I'm feeling a little sluggish. Anyways, I'm not feeling up to my more coffee is the solution. I'm not feeling up to my normal performance level, though it's true. So I definitely. I feel like that's probably having an impact. I think, and part of it is just the frustration at this point from not being able to get, not being able to get the audio to work properly. And it is working, and I know you guys can hear it somewhat, but it's not. The balance is totally out from what I would like it to be, and I can't, because of the way I've kind of forced it into a different audio device than what I would like it to be on. I don't have as much ability to amend the audio, so I feel like the balance is all out of whack. Maybe it's not so far out of whack. But I feel like it's at least a little bit out of whack here. Alright, So there's alt capture. We'll go ahead and accelerate to about 310, 320 here just to kind of get us there because we wasted so much time trying to get off the ground here. We should be landing in Syracuse in about the next 10 or 15 minutes here.
We were slightly delayed in taking off, so we are running a little bit behind schedule, but we'll do our best to catch up and see if we can get you to your destination on time as planned. As the cabin crew make their way around the aircraft, please make sure they are
Alright, let's see if we can set a power setting that's going to keep us at about 320 here without getting into that red line. There we go. Alright. There we go. We're underway. Let's have a quick look at the Syracuse weather as well, just because it's going to come up really quickly here. And winds 250 at 610 miles, broken 35, broken at 8,000. So it's not too bad here. We're going to start setting that up in just a couple minutes, but before we do that, yeah, I just want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, as I said, I had to do a little bit of a reset of my computer. Windows, for some reason, Microsoft Flight Simulator was not running well, along with a number of other games actually that I like to play that I noticed were beginning to have like big pauses and chops in them. I feel like it might partly be that my graphics card is starting to get a little bit long in the tooth. Has been certainly abused in its day as a result of Microsoft Flight Simulator running constantly. If I can just check it here, but I'm sure it's running warm. Without looking, I'm sure it's running warm. Just have a quick little check here, but I always like this program. It's called CPU ID's Hardware Monitor, and it's a really simple program, but it shows you so many parameters from within your computer. GPU's not doing too bad right now. It's running at about 65 degrees. The fan's running at almost 1,000 RPM, so it's not doing too bad. But this GPU has run a lot in its day. A lot. So I'm sure it's probably been somewhat worn out by all the strain that I have put on it over the years. So yeah, I'm sure that at some point in the not too distant future that video card is going to need to be replaced. So anyways, I reinstalled Windows. It did seem to make a bit of a difference. However, what really seemed to make a big difference, and two things seem to make a difference. First of all, I think TrackIR was partly the culprit. TrackIR is a bit of a resource hog, and that's the nature of what it does. It's constantly filming the location of your headset and then trying to translate it. Where's my headset? Trying to film the location of your headset here and translate it into a 3D position in space based on the relative position of these three particular dots of light or reflections or whatever. So that takes a fair bit of computing power to do that, and it's constantly doing it. It's not like it just does it once and forgets it. It's constantly doing it as I breathe. You know, if I breathe in a little bit, it might even move just a little bit. So it's constantly recalculating and redetermining that position. So it's a little bit of a resource hog. One thing that I did notice that did improve it was I experimented with any number of things to try and see if I could get rid of these little chops that I kept having. And the biggest thing that seemed to help it was when I took TrackIR out of my USB hub, because I have so many flight sim devices, camera, everything else. I have a USB hub to sort of manage and merge all these devices together. TrackIR went through that hub. When I took TrackIR out of that hub and plugged it directly into the computer, so it was interfacing much more directly with the motherboard without going through a USB hub first, I found that seemed to remove most of the stutters and pauses from Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I think TrackIR was a big part of it. That being said, I don't know if it was last week or a couple weeks ago, I was just reading about this anyways, but NVIDIA released a new set of drivers for their graphics cards specifically tailored to Microsoft Flight Simulator, specifically tailored to trying to improve the performance of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I think it worked. Maybe it was my reinstall of Windows, which sort of happened at the same time, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think it worked. I've been able to maintain a more consistent 30 FPS, even there in New York. Like, we were maintaining a good 30 frames per second, which is my target frames per second here. So I don't know if you can see it up there very well in the corner. It's kind of hidden under the overlay, and I don't think I can move this. But right here, this is the actual frames per second up here, right in the very top corner here. And it's solidly pegged at pretty much 30. It is barely moving away from 30 at all. And I'm not even using that much of my CPU and my GPU overall, all things considered. So it seemed like that update definitely had an impact on the sim. definitely in how smooth it runs, how well the graphics run. So I definitely am pretty impressed with that update. I'm pretty happy with that graphics card update, because I think that in combination with Sim Update, what do we do? Just Sim Update 10, I think, was the one that just released. Because that was the thing, was NVIDIA released their drivers to kind of coincide with the release of Sim Update 10. Sim Update 10 took advantage of some of these drivers, some new anti-aliasing drivers within the NVIDIA software that seem to have made it a lot smoother. So for any of you that are out there running an NVIDIA card, if you haven't updated your drivers lately, update them, because it seems like it has made a big difference in terms of the smoothness of the whole operation of Microsoft Flight Simulator. It seems like the whole thing is definitely running smoother. It looks a lot nicer, even at a decent graphic setting. It definitely is looking a lot smoother than it used to. So just give me 1 second here. I'm just going to throw out a little YouTube YouTube notification on my channel here, just to see if anybody else wants to come and watch this Twitch stream, because I haven't done a Twitch stream in a while, and I feel bad about that as well. It's not something, I'm not trying to go this long. I have just been so overwhelmed. Lots of stuff kind of going on in my life, and especially with a new job. I just got to send out a quick note here on YouTube to try and see if anybody else wants to watch this, maybe not got notifications from my Twitch on. If I can spell twitch.tv properly, that would probably help. All right, underway. Making the turn here. I'm going to start setting up for the arrival into Syracuse, because it's going to happen before we know it here. So I think we're going to land on 28, I believe, is the runway there. I don't know if you've got a real-world ATIS, but let's close this up and let's go to the end here, Syracuse. Open that chart list. There we go. It is runway 28, so we're going to just set up for an ILS to 28. Taxi into 28 from 28. It's a fairly long runway, 9003. Should be no problem for the CRJ. And the terminal's up there. ILS, I don't believe we have any arrivals into Syracuse. No, we don't. And actually, one thing I'm going to look at right now, before I forget, is I'm just going to look and see if we have any gate assignment. So just doing a quick search here on the other computer. And seeing if they list a gate for Endeavor Air flight that is on the way right now from JFK to Syracuse. Is going to arrive at gate 24 in Syracuse. So let's have a look here. Gate 24 right there in the top of the terminal. So that's where we're going to go when we get to Syracuse, is gate 24. So let's get some stuff dialed in here. 1099 and 280 the inbound track. So 1099. And on the number 2 as well. 1099. There we go. And we're just about to make a turn. Oh, or did we already make the turn? Hold on. Zoom in. Oh, we already made the turn. Okay, so let's sync the heading bug for a second here. Heading mode. And let's set the localizer to precisely 280. There we go, that's 280, excellent. Go back to FMS nav source. Let's see if I can get him to help me out here. Set course on your side, 280. He seemed to understand it. All right. Landing speeds. We're just going to hit the fuel from the aircraft. It's going to be less than what we had before. All right, looks like we're going to have a VREF of 141. And we are back in FMS mode, so that's all good. We just need minimums now for this approach. So go ahead and bring this back down again here and say minimums. Let's see here. Cat 1 ILS, we're going to call it 613. And the airport's at 421, so let's make sure we've got the landing elevation set here as well. So 421 is what we're looking at, 420. There we go, 440, so one click back. Should be 420, nice. And what did I say, sorry, 641? 613. So we're going to set 620 MDA. $620 for an MDA, and I think we're just about ready for a briefing there. Let's just zoom this out a little bit here and get a sense of a top of descent point here. So vectors around, what are we going to be vectored at? We're going to be vectored about 4,000 south of Syracuse VOR. So yeah, we'll have to vector 4,000. So 4,000 for 24,000, we gotta lose 20,000, which should take us about 60 miles. 20,000 times 3 is 60 miles. So if we start our descent about 60 miles back from Syracuse, that should work pretty well. And let's just set up the arrival again here. This time we're going to set up for the ILS-28. We'll do it via STOTA. And let's just check the legs in there. Top Syracuse, and then we have disconnect, and we've got STOTA, Tilly, and Loyal. Tilly. I don't know what these other fixes are here. What are these other fixes? Are those from the other approach? Probably from the other approach, right? What if I take this runway 28 and move it back to after Tilly? That makes more sense then. Okay. Are you ready for the approach briefing?
Go ahead.
Alright, so there's no arrival into Syracuse today, so we're just going to be flying the fly-old route and expecting some vectors over to, and some self-vectors over to an ILS for runway 28 in Syracuse, New York, effective the 26th of March of 2020, 11-2. 1099 for ISYR is set on both sides. Final approach course 280 was set both sides. Zimby, the glide slope check height at 3.4 DME, 1,600 feet. And Cat 1 ILS minimum 613, I've got 620 set. The touchdown zone 413, we've got the landing elevation 420 set. MSA south of the Syracuse VOR, which is where we're coming from, is 3,700. So we're going to use 4,000 for the self-vector on towards the ILS at STOTA, and we can shuttle down at STOTA to 2,700 feet. Missed approach is climb to 1,100 feet, then a climbing right turn to 3,000 feet, direct the Syracuse VOR and hold. Oops, wrong page. Yeah, so straight ahead 1,100, then right turn direct to Syracuse VOR. DME or radar is required. ILS glide slope is 3 degrees, ALS of 2 pappies, and should be able to see this with as low as RVR 1,800 or half mile. I don't think that's going to be a problem for us. Once we land on runway 28, we're going to take a convenient right turn off the runway. I'm expecting probably we're going to roll out to about Whiskey, and then Whiskey, it's a pretty straightforward taxi into the apron around the corner. 24 is right up there. No hot spots on that taxi in. Terrain higher to the south, 4,000 feet. MSA weather is it's broken 3,500, so definitely VMC should have no problem spotting the field. Operational, no MELs in the aircraft. Let's have a quick look at the NOTAMs in Syracuse. If I can bring over my flight plan again here. Here it comes. And just a quick check of the NOTAMs to see what's going on in Syracuse. If anything, I imagine not too much. All irregular surface on taxiways, autopilot, radio altimeter unreliable, FICONs. Everything was observed wet, 22:10:08 at 02:05. ILS glide path 10 unserviceable. ILS 28 procedure not applicable except for aircraft using approved alternate methods of compliance due to C-band interference. That's just for the Cat 2, so that and the special authorization Cat 1. We're just doing a normal Cat 1, so that doesn't affect us. So that's really all I've got. Yeah. Any questions?
No questions.
Descent check.
Pressurization set. Fuel checked. Altimeters.
Standard set. 2992 set left.
1013. Set right. Landing data. Set 4732 pounds. Gross converters.
Armed.
Lights.
Set.
Seatbelt sign.
On.
Seatbelt and shoulder harness.
Check left.
Checked right.
And then he got stuck. What? Set and checked.
Descent check complete.
That's funny. He got caught. He got stuck there somehow. I don't know how he got stuck, but he got stuck. Oh, that's funny. All right. So what else is going on here? So a little bit of other interesting news as well for you guys here. Something new and exciting that happened to me just a little while ago here. I got a payout from Twitch, which is really nice, so thank you guys so much for watching. And as a result of that, let's see if I can... I'm just going to freeze this here. And as a result of that, I don't know how far I can pull this thing, but I don't know if you guys can tell from here, but this now is what's controlling my aircraft, along with, of course, my good old SciTech yoke, is my brand new Bravo throttle quadrant. So I finally have the Bravo, and I do have to say, what a nice piece of equipment it is. Let me just see if I can really quickly grab a little bit more free wire, but for some reason it's twisted around something else. Of course it is. And looks like Boston Center just came online, so just give me 1 second. See if I can untwist this a little better. So yeah, so I've got the Bravo yoke here, which is really kind of nice to have. It's very intuitive. The switches all work on it, and it's just a nice piece of kit. So I have to say I am really happy with that. So thank you guys for watching me on Twitch all this time. That is basically what funded this. I did put a little bit of my own money into it as well. And I did get some birthday money as well, which also factored into it. But thank you guys nonetheless for that, because it's a vast improvement over what was here before. I had the SciTech throttle quadrant, and it was okay for a couple of years, but what really annoyed me about it more than anything was just that it was subject to a lot of noise. I tried to take it apart to clean the pots. It made zero difference whatsoever. There was a lot of noise in certain spots. So I was not happy with it. It was not really functioning very well. You guys probably noticed on many of my videos the thrust levers kind of jogging back and forth.
And Boston Center, Charlie Golf Charlie number 0 with request.
Go ahead.
Yeah, is it possible, can we get the Saranac Lake altimeter for the RNAV here? It would be Kilo Sierra Lima Kilo.
Saranac Lake altimeter 3013.
3013, thanks, Charlie number 0.
Boston Center, good morning. Endeavor 4730, flight level 240, ready for descent, Syracuse.
Endeavor 4730 Boston Center, squawk 4704.
Okay, new code 4704, Endeavor 4730.
Delta 649, descent via the Roebuck 3 arrival, runway 27 to Boston.
Wow, we're going to have ATC at both ends of this flight. How awesome is that? I was not expecting that. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, I got a little bit of birthday money, and I put that. I used that to cover up the last little shortfall on the Endeavor, or
5303, runway 33, taxi via Sierra.
On the Endeavor, or on the Bravo purchase fund. So, it's a nice thing to have.
30 radar contact, descend and maintain 11000, Syracuse altimeter 3024.
11000 on 3024, Endeavor 4730.
Charlie Golf Charlie, November Zulu, cross
Alright, let's see if I can get this to work. Some of the major airplanes it doesn't work with.
Runway 14 to Lake Placid.
Alright, Pugry 5,000 or above, cleared for the RNAV 14 into Lake Placid. Try November Zulu, thanks.
And it doesn't seem to work with the altitude,
Center, this is Delta
but it seems to work with the VS, so I'm adjusting the VS just using the Bravo. It's so nice to have that as an option. Again, it takes the clicking out of my mouse, which I really like. Where are you going, plane? I feel like you're overreacting to a very slightly off course here. You're like a eighth of a mile off course, and you're banking 30 degrees to get back on course here. What are you doing here, plane?
Boston Center, good morning. Executive 128, just crossing over the Hancock VOR at flight level 410.
But yeah, it's nice to have that as another input device, and what I really like about the Bravo is the fact that A, it comes with 2 quadrants, which is great, the GA quadrant and the thrust lever quadrant, but also they're just so smooth. The controls are so much smoother, so much more responsive. Okay, I'm going to put this back in heading mode for a second here, just to sort of see if I can't stabilize this, because it can't seem to figure out how to get back on course, and it's just overshooting and undershooting here, trying to do it.
Roger, we are at flight level 310 and the SWAT code.
Alright, back to FMS1. Now let's see where that level off is. That level off looks pretty good.
Squawking 4734, mode Charlie, Delta 8636, thank you.
Did you get on with Boston already there, Squibbly? I don't even see.
November 509, cross runway 15.
Don't even see you right now, but it's because I don't have VATSIM up again. I like to have all these things ready to go, and I was not at all ready to go today. And I'm still going to have to troubleshoot this issue. I don't know what's going on. I am not happy with this audio performance right now. It's passable, but it doesn't make me happy. It doesn't. Hell, I just started it up and it just crashed, I think. There it goes. But yeah, I am not. Oh, you already landed. I didn't realize you were that far ahead.
Flight level 310, Delta 8636.
I might just increase my verticals just a little bit there.
804.
Alright, so we're about to transition, so let's do it now. 3024. Yeah, I love the smoothness of this throttle quadrant. The fact that you have, you know, appropriately shaped thrust levers for GA and for commercial aircraft included with it. Like, what a fantastic thing to include both of them right off the bat. The lights that all work. I can see I'm in heading mode and altitude mode, which is not correct, but it works really well with the default airplanes. Third-party add-ons, it doesn't work. The lights don't always work very well with, but
006,000 miles, 33,
but with the default airplanes, it works really well. The light systems and all.
4730, expect the ILS 28.
Land on the ILS 28, Endeavour 4730, thanks. Yeah, that was really nice. The trim wheel as well, and as simple, as silly as a function as a trim wheel is, the trim wheel is such a nice thing to have. I'm just going to adjust this camera again here. I put it back.
Good morning, this
put it
is
back where I like it. There we go.
304 heavy, you passing 10,000.
So nice when you're flying like a 172 and you just put your hand down here and you can just trim, and it feels so realistic when you do that. It really, again, it just bumps the immersion in my. It bumps the immersion up in my brain another notch. It really does. So I'm really happy. I think the Bravo is very much worth the money. It's a little bit of a pricey toy. I will not, you know, I'll pull no punches on that. It's a pricey little toy, but it's so worth it. It's so well designed. The biggest problem I have with it, if I had to have a criticism of it, is that the buttons are very hard to use, just because they're behind all of the other controls. So you're
804 descend to maintain 5,000.
5,000.
you know, you've got your hand, if I could just do it like this, you got your hand forward like this on the thrust levers, and the switches are like right here. So trying to reach in behind the thrust levers sometimes when they're at full power to push the switches, that could be a bit of a challenge. I find that's probably one of the biggest shortfalls, and it's just I think it's as much a function of just what they're trying to do with the system and trying to squeeze as much onto a limited amount of real estate. Go grab yourself a quick meal while I get caught up. I wonder if they have anything good in the terminal there. Alright, coming up 12,000 for 11,000.
649, contact Boston approach 133.0.
Who would have thought we'd have Boston Center on here to get us vectored into Syracuse? I was not expecting that at all. Happy about it. Totally unexpected. Alright, that's 12 descending 11,000.
At 804, turn left heading 360, join the localizer.
360, join the localizer to 804.
Alright. At some point he's going to vector us around here, I hope. Trouble is he's got a big sector to cover and a lot of stuff going on. Especially, just first log in here.
10 miles from Honib, maintain 5,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 33 approach.
I'm missing 5,000, clear the ILS 33 approach, extension 804.
Endeavor 4730, turn right heading 100, descend to maintain 4,000, vectors ILS 28.
Right heading 100 and down to 4,000, Endeavor 4730. Alright, so right turn heading 1.
American 320, clearance available, advice ready to copy.
00.
Ready to copy, American 320.
American 320, clear to the Boston
4,000.
Airport, Albany 7 departure, Albany, then as amended, maintain 4,000. I expect 17,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure is with me, squawk 4705.
Alright, we're going to do VS minus 1,500 and see where that puts us here.
Albany, then as amended, maintain 4,000, expect 17010 minutes after departure. Departure is with you.
Alright, now we're going to get some lights on.
American 320.
Seatbelts are already on.
320, read back correct, push your discretion,
Good to go.
advise ready for taxi, runway 1.
We'll advise ready for taxi, runway 1, American 320.
Number 509, radar contact altitude.
Alright, vertical speed.
Number 509, thanks.
Crank it down maybe a little bit more here.
Maintain
What's
10,000.
the temperature out there now? Got a tad of 4 degrees. Should probably have the engine anti-ice on for this, which means we'll probably need a little bit of speed brake as well. Counteract that.
Could you repeat please? Delta 20. Delta 20, cross Calverton, Charlie, 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 at 12,000, 250 knots. The Kennedy altimeter, 3018.
12,000 at 250 knots.
Alright.
3018 is the altimeter. Thank you.
See Syracuse out there sooner than later, I hope.
Charlie Golf Charlie November Zulu, report IFR cancellation or missed approach on this frequency. Change to advisory
Thrust
frequency.
idle. Just wish I had D10s. It's about the only thing that's missing from the Bravo.
Endeavor 5303, cross Daisy at and maintain 8,000. LaGuardia altimeter 3018.
Daisy at 8.
And as we go down, the TAT's going. The TAT's going down, not up.
1758, squawk mode, Charlie.
Oh, starting to get some ground contact down there. Good stuff, good stuff.
Prepare the cabin for London. Thank you.
Boston Center, good morning, northwest 392, 23 miles northwest of Elmira, flight level 370. This is going to be our final.
Northwest 392 Boston Center,
All
squawk
right.
4735.
Keep this going down here. Watch that temperature, because I'd love
4735 in the
to
box, Northwestern.
take the anti-ice off, but I don't think I can for a little bit here.
Touch at 804, wind 3207, runway 33, clear to land.
33, clear to land, exit at 804.
We're going to start backing off the vertical speed so we can lose some airspeed here, because he's going to give us that base turn shortly.
Denver 509, climb and maintain 16,000. Figure 1750, fly runway heading, wind 340.
It's funny to think that those small little spoilers can create so much extra drag on this airplane. That's full deployment. They're really not that big.
Northwest 392, radar contact.
The flight spoilers are really not that big.
390.
370 is going to be our final for Northwest 392.
Northwest 392, maintain
5 descending 4.
Maintain 370, 392.
Altitude capture. Close the speed brakes.
Denver 4730, turn left heading 010, descend and maintain 3000.
Left heading 010 down to 3000, Denver 4730. Alright, left heading 0.
Center, this is Delta 20, just to verify, cross at
010, 3000.
Calverton at 2000, 12,000, and 250 knots.
12,000, thank you, Delta 20.
Delta 20, you can now contact New York approach on 128.12.
128.12, thank you.
And the speed's really dropping because we
Denver
left
5303, New York approach 128.12.
Alright, so let's go flaps 1. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Alright, let's get into localizer mode there. Altitude capture.
American 320 is ready for taxi.
American 320, runway 1, taxi the Alpha.
Runway 1, taxi via Alpha.
Denver 4730, turn left heading 310, join the localizer.
Left heading 310, join the localizer only, Endeavour 4730. Right, heading 310.
1758, the squawk code 473.
Loc 1 armed. Trees don't seem to be changing too much in upstate New York yet. Soon. I think I see the flashing lights of the airport way down there in the distance. Alright, I think we're good to take the anti-ice off now. Because it looks like we're solidly on the bottom of the cloud layer here.
Denver 4730, 4 miles from Stoda, maintain 3000 till established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 28 approach.
3000 till established and cleared the ILS 28 Endeavours 4730.
Lieutenant Springbok 204, Mr. Handoff, Honeycomb.
Springbok 204, no you didn't, but I'll give you one now. Leaving my airspace, New York Center is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Thank you very much, bye-bye.
Repair 1758, radar contact, say altitude. Repair 1758, thanks. Proceed direct Martha's Vineyard, climb and maintain 10,000. Denver 509, Providence altimeter at 3012.
3012, Denver 509.
Delta 8636, descend via the J-Fund to arrival, runway 27, the Boston altimeter 3010.
Boston altimeter 3010 and descend via the J Fund arrival for runway 27 into Boston, Delta.
Alright, there's Loc 1.
Thanks.
Yeah, I didn't like something when I switched the audio sources. And it seems to be stuck. Permanently stuck.
Jet 804, welcome to
Guess we're not
Burlington.
using GSX anymore on this
You
flight.
can taxi to Heritage via Golf Alpha Charlie, cross runway 1.
Try it one more time, but I think it seems to be stuck in a permanent yeah, permanent failure. Flaps 8.
Flaps 8.
Glide slope's alive.
Roger.
American 320 is holding short.
American 320, fly runway heading, runway 1, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading on runway 1, clear for takeoff. American 320.
Denver 4730, wind 260 at 6, runway 28, clear to land.
2-way clear to land, Endeavour 4730, thanks.
Prepare 1758, climb and maintain 16,000.
Alright, cleared to land. We just gotta actually do it. See if I can remember how to land this airplane. Oh, the struggle sometimes of being a simmer, though. You spend so much time trying to get these different systems to work, and then sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Alright, there's glide slope, and I believe the missed approach was 3,000, but let me just recheck. It was 3,000, yep. That's what I thought. Gear down.
Gear down.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing. Thank you.
Flaps 20.
Flaps 20.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 45.
Flaps 45. 4 landing check, landing gear.
Down 3 green.
Spoiler 0. Flaps 45. 4 landing check.
Seem very low on the arrival. You're not supposed to descend to that final altitude. You gotta follow the published altitude restrictions on the arrival, otherwise you might conflict with other traffic. The restriction at seats is at or above flight level 210, so advise you climb back up.
Sorry about that. I saw it on there. I thought it said 17,000. My mistake. Delta 8636.
Just a little bit
320 radar contact.
gusty here.
Climbing through 2,700, American 320.
American 320, thanks. Turn left heading 280, climb and maintain 10,000.
Left heading 280, climb and maintain 10,000, American 320.
Takeoff Charlie November Zulu, Boston Center, IFR cancellation.
Trying to find a power setting that kind of works and keeps us consistent on the approach here. Checked. 100 above minimums. 100 above. Let's engage in the autopilot.
Sync rate. 2 minimums. Sync rate.
United 28
Landing.
Boston Center, hello, climb and maintain flight level 320.
40, 30, 20, 10, minimums.
American 320, turn left heading 180.
Left heading 180, American 320.
Reverse green.
Recurred 1758, Providence, altimeter 3012.
And we'll take the next right turn off the runway here. Not the best landing ever. I'm getting kind of used to having auto brakes on my airplanes.
November 20421, Boston Center, Providence, altimeter 3012, expect runway 23. Thank you. American 320, left direct to Ponset, climb and maintain 17,000.
Direct Ponset, climb and maintain 17,000, American 320.
Endeavor 4730, clear of 28, taxi for the terminal.
Endeavor 4730, welcome to Syracuse, taxi to the terminal via Alpha Echo, good day.
Alpha Echo to the terminal, thanks, 4730. Alpha Echo, perfect. After landing check. It's not that one. That one. Alright, there's the terminal up there. Just waiting. He's doing everything. He's resetting it all. Good, 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 good. That wasn't a terrible landing. A little bit of a bounce there. Carried a little extra speed on final, but it was really kind of touch and go there for a little bit. Just a little gustier than I would have liked, but alright, I don't know where you're parked, Squibbly, but I'm heading over here somewhere. This is Foxtrot. And I believe Echo should...
Aircraft calling, that's coming in very quiet, I guess.
That was Foxtrot. Yeah, this should be Echo right here on the left into the terminal.
November 4121, Boston Center, good morning.
I see you there. Better not be parked on my gate.
4121, maintain VFR at or below 3000, squawk 4711.
Alright, and you get the APU up and running already. Excellent, nicely done.
November 4121, read back correct, runway 1, taxi via Alpha.
Just gonna take myself away for a second there because I love the screenshot of
Albany,
Syracuse there.
Romeo's current at Bradley, and Ada Zulu is current at Providence.
Alright, I'm gonna park right next to you, wherever you are there. Right here at the end of the terminal. Whichever of these gates is free, that's where we're parking. So be it. My GSX has crashed, which is a shame because I was looking forward to having a marshaller. And it's all because I changed the audio on it. Alright, looks like we gotta be on this gate here, so hopefully we can wedge ourselves in here next to you. 24 Alpha will do. Alright, we'll pretend the marshaller's in sight, so taxi light off. Alright, parking brake is set, and APU is on.
APU is coming up.
I wasn't really talking to you, buddy. Please remember to submit your flight, thank you. Give me a second, I got a few things to do here first. I gotta get these people out of here. Beacon off. And
Number 421, airport at your 12 o'clock and
probes
15
are off. Okay.
miles, report inside.
Shut down, check.
Shocks and brakes.
On and in. In and on. In and on.
Seatbelts.
November 421,
Gentlemen from the cockpit, once again, I hope you
Off.
enjoyed your flight with us today. On behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew,
Off.
wish you a safe and pleasant journey from the airport and hope to see you again soon.
Set.
Thanks for flying with us.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Hydraulic pump 3A.
On. Set. Off.
Are you positive? Beacon.
Off.
Nose wheel steering.
Off.
Transponder standby. Shutdown check complete.
Really? He shut the APU off when it was on. All right, and let's grab our. So we need to grab this jet bridge, and hopefully it'll come over here, because my self-loading cargo is stuck in a loop of trying to open that. Hopefully if the bridge comes over, it will get itself sorted out. Self-loading cargo only seems to detect in MSFS if the bridge is working or not. Okay, before I forget anything else, let's just submit that flight. Wasn't great in every respect, but I did the best I could. Hopefully it was good enough. And we're ready to do our return flight. We got to get ourselves set up, so we got to do a little dispatch of our own here. Get ourselves underway. Coffee time.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
Right downwind, runway 34.
Pushback press is going to close itself now. That's fine. You know what? I don't care. Okay.
Descend via
And then all that noise is self-loading cargo, right?
273010.
Yeah, so let's just turn down some of the volume here on self-loading cargo, because there's a few things that's just entirely too loud.
American 320 stairs.
320 knots, American 320.
Perfect, thanks.
There. Okay. All right. Well, we made it for leg number 1. We got to Syracuse. Despite technical issues, a number of technical issues today, we did manage to get to Syracuse. So we are now ready to get underway with leg number 2. So the first thing we got to do is just plan it up here, log into our company website, download our flight plan and all that. So, of course, I am my own dispatcher.
310 knots or greater for safe.
So the one nice thing I can do is come over here and just hit sim brief dispatch, and it will just boom pop me in my own little sim brief flight plan here for the return leg.
In the transition, we'll maintain 280 Northwestern 3.
All right, so 4981 Syracuse back to Boston.
November 323 Charlie Bravo, Boston Center, Manchester.
Let's do auto. Let's do 20 minutes of additional fuel should be enough to go back to New York here. We'll take this first one here, Pompey T391 Hancock, Kingston to Kingston 1. Sounds pretty reasonable.
Center, Yankee Bravo,
Generate that and get ready to go on leg number 2 here. Hey, there's no rest for the wicked when you're a regional pilot. You stop and then you just go again. You just start going right away.
Charlie Golf Hotel, Foxtrot, Boston Center, hello. Climb and maintain 16,000. Got a reroute for you. Advise ready to copy.
Okay, so my tug seems to be parked behind you there for some reason. Not sure why. Alright, let's refile this flight plan here.
Delta 8636, you still on frequency?
File. Beauty, so we should be refiled. It is in there. Great beauty. Alright, so we are ready. First thing we got to ask ourselves. So self-loading cargo is still offloading. When it's done, it's got 8 people left to offload. We'll reset it. GSX does not seem to want to restart. GSX seems to have died.
Oscar Sierra, then direct Sandy Point.
And I'm not sure if I can restart it manually. I'm going to make one little attempt here and see if I can find it here.
Hotel Tango Oscar to join Victor 46 to Deer Park Delta Papa Kilo, then direct.
don't think it's going to want to work anymore. I think whatever happened when I reset that audio connection, it did not like it whatsoever. So good to know. I don't know why these last 8 people are not offloading at all.
And Hotel Foxtrot, after Sandy Point, Sierra Echo
I think they're
Yankee,
offloaded already.
direct to Hampton, Hotel Tango.
I see nothing but flight attendants on here.
Join Victor 46. The rest of it was correct.
Passenger list. Location.
Hotel Foxtrot, Rebeck, correct.
Those are my crew. For some reason, these 8 people are not getting off the airplane. But I don't even see anybody left on the airplane. These are the crew members. There it goes. It figured it out.
November 4121, fly runway heading.
Cargo unloading is complete, so we will start a new flight here.
American 320 descend via DJ Fund 2 arrival.
Endeavor is the airline.
Boston altimeter 3010.
Descend via the J-Fund 2 arrival, runway 27.
Start that. I'm ready to board whenever you guys are. It takes a little while to get set up, but you guys go board whenever you're ready. We're just going to do a quick little look at the flight deck, make sure that everything is back where it needs to be. And actually, before we do anything else, let's call that fuel truck and get some fuel in here. Fuel. We are going to need 9,800 pounds. And we are down at 9,400, so we need to load 400 pounds. Call the fuel truck and load 400 pounds.
Number 509, cross Daisy at and maintain 8,000.
Oh, we didn't quite tanker enough, but we tankered most of what we needed. So the fuel truck's going to come over and do that, and we are going to go ahead and get set up here again for the next leg. So back to the flight plan page. The IRSs are still initialized. They're still good to go, so we just have to go and...
Flight 683 Boston Center, climb and maintain flight level 400.
Go ahead and set up our
American 320
flight again here.
133.0.
I feel just like I'm so out of it.
Approach 133.0, American 320.
All right. So now we're at KSYR. And we're going back to KJFK. All right, alternate. Where's my flight plan here?
421, let's see here. The wind 3505, runway.
All right, here's the flight plan. I'm going to shrink it down just to a more reasonable size there. And our alternate for JFK today is to go over to Boston. That's why we need so much fuel. Boston's a pretty... It's not a far alternate, but it's far enough considering the shortness of the whole flight overall. So that's why it's taking us so long to get there. All right, so I'm going to do Syracuse to runway 28. And then from there, we're going to go direct to Pompey, P-O-M-P-Y,
Delta 222, clearance available, advise ready to
T391 to Hancock.
222, you're clear to the JFK Airport, Syracuse 2.
And then Kingston for the Kingston 1.
Then as filed, maintain 4,000, squawk 47.
All right, so we're going to go back to Kennedy. We're going to do the Kingston 1 and 3-1 right for arrival, I think I heard him doing, so we'll do it by Catod. I don't know. We're going to look at it anyways once we get going here, so at least we got something to look at there. We got the runway heading, Pompey, Kingston, Oxford, Hancock. Get rid of that discon, Kingston, Lolly, LaGuardia, and then
United 231 Boston Center, hello, climb and maintain flight level 210, proceed direct.
And of course I messed it up because I changed it twice. So let's get rid of some of these pages here. So now we got Kingston, Lollydor, LaGuardia, and then Catod.
Number 509, New York approach 128.
Okay, so that's all the approach there. Perfect. So that's the flight plan. And then the performance. Again, we're going to do a flex takeoff. We'll do a 46. Performance init. This time we're doing 75 passengers, I believe, for the return flight. We're making money here, this airline. 3.5.
Radar contact, the altitude.
And we should be fully fueled by now.
November 4121, thanks. Proceed on course. Maintain
What did I say we needed? We needed 9,800. For some reason, it stopped fueling. I must have clicked the button or something.
I believe a while ago there was a Yankee Bravo 67 checking in.
All right, so the cruise altitude is really low on this return leg here. It's just 17,000. 17,000, and let's just init. Set this stuff up here and copy that over. So we've got 75 people. We've got a ZFW of 63,909. We'll execute that, and actually, sorry, perf page 2. Again, pull this up. We've got a average ISA on this leg of +2, so we're just a slightly different atmosphere because we're flying a different route at a different altitude. So the average is a little different. 265 at 27 is the average wind. The VNAV setup, I might as well not bother setting it up because we're never going to transition to our Mach number. So with that, we're all set up for the FMS. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize I didn't even have that up there. I was doing it here on my tablet, which I can see and respond to immediately, and you guys can't even see that. So
4753, Walker 2717.
All right, anywho, let's go through this again here. So we've got the nav lights on. I don't know why you shut off the APU for this short turn, but anywho's. Gonna get that hydraulic pump on. Landing elevation is going to be basically at 20 feet, so that's 180. 60, 40, 20. All right. Those are on, those are on. Fueling is now
American 207
complete.
Boston Center, you're cleared to the JFK Airport, Syracuse 2 departure, radar vectors Pompey, then as filed. Maintain 4,000, squawk 4747.
All right, so we got seatbelts are on. Emergency lights are still armed. 3024 still on the meter. Let's get back to FMS nav mode here. Init fuel. Set all. All right, so we've got our takeoff speeds again here. All set.
Boston Center, Delta 1231 on the ground at Syracuse, IFR.
It's going to keep on making that stupid sound. Annoying as it is.
That was 2012 calling for IFR to Detroit.
Yeah, I may mute you for just a little bit here. Self-loading cargo because you're making that annoying sound.
On the ground at Syracuse.
Door opening and closing constantly. It's really annoying.
Center clearance, center request, stand by.
All right, so let's go ahead and set 39 because it sounds like 4,000 is what he does. And yeah, we're just going to do toga mode there. Go around. We've got heading 280 set. Thrust reverser should have been disarmed and the after landing flow. I don't know if I messed it up or he messed it up. Either way. Understanding by, that's all good. All right.
Drag off Hotel Foxtrot to report back. Air 1758 cross Daisy.
Gotta get a word in here for the clearance.
LaGuardia altimeter 3017.
Roger, across Daisy.
APU never did start.
3017 for Richard 1758.
Boston Center low again. Endeavor 4981 on the ground. Syracuse IFR Kennedy.
Endeavor 4981 Boston Center, you're cleared to the Kennedy Airport, Syracuse 2 departure, radar vectors Pompey, then as filed. Maintain 4,000, squawk 4707.
Endeavor 4981 cleared to New York Kennedy via the Syracuse 2 departure, radar vectors Pompey, and then as filed, maintain 4,000, squawk 4707.
4981, read back, correct advise, ready for taxi, runway 28.
We'll advise, ready for taxi 28, Endeavor 4981. All right.
Endeavor 4981, could you accept flight level 210 as your cruise today?
Yeah, we can do that if it works for you.
Perfect. Endeavor 4981, expect flight level 210 as your final.
Thanks, we'll show that, Endeavor 4981. Okay, so let's change that quickly on the perf page so it recalculates everything properly. That should give us
United 2080
less
from our
fuel
space
burn.
shortly. New York Center's closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency
There we go,
change
21,000, so that should work really well.
United 2080 with you.
All right, so we'll execute that.
1758 New York approach.
And let's pull up the charts and just make sure. So 4,000 is the altitude to maintain on departure. And yeah.
American 641, you on frequency yet?
Are you ready for the departure briefing?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to taxi out from the terminal here in Syracuse over to runway 28 for departure. Not sure, probably Sierra Hotel, Sierra Mike and Alpha. The hold short spot here, or the hot spot here at number 1 here. It looks like there's some ILS hold lines short of the runway there, and it should be on the second airport info page here what the hot spot is. Aircraft taxi 28 have missed the left turn onto Alpha. We're taxiing on runway 33, so people have missed the turn there, so make sure we pay attention to this turn here from Mike onto Alpha to get to the threshold of runway 28. The SID is the Syracuse 2 departure, plate 10-3, and effective on the 26th of March 2020. Lots of obstacles here, but for 28, climb on heading 280, top altitude 4,000, radar vectors to intercept file assigned, route maintain 4,000, expect for clearance to requested altitude flight level 10 minutes after departure. So runway heading and expect vectors over to the south for the fixed Tumpy. Weather's looking a little unsettled, but nothing that no hard IFR conditions anyway. So immediate return should be a non-issue. And this is not the right flight plan. Where's my flight plan here? I'm just going to look for NOTAMs. We got nothing broken on the airplane, but here's the NOTAMs for Syracuse. Again, nothing for departure, I don't believe, here off runway 28. FICON's 555, 50% wet. That's it. Otherwise, that's all I've got. Any questions?
No questions.
Beauty. All right, we're just about ready to go. I'm just going to do one thing here. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break because flight level 210, that's what he gave me, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take a quick little bathroom break because that's one thing you learn in regional flying. Take a bathroom break every couple minutes, every time you stop the airplane. So I will be back in about 3 minutes, guys.
I have a flight plan for RNAV for 33. Yankee Bravo 67.
Yankee Bravo 67, roger. Would you like to start that from my initial approach fix, or would you like vectors?
I have my flight plan for CYAP as my starting for my RNAV.
Yankee Bravo 67, roger. I'll have direct to CYAP for you shortly.
Roger that. Yankee Bravo 67.
Thank you. November 323 Charlie Bravo, would you like to remain on flight following? November 3 Charlie Bravo, IFR cancellation received. Radar
all right, we are back on the flight deck and we are ready to go here. All right, so I can't see you from over here, but you ready, Squibbly? I see a beacon on. I think that's a good sign. I think we're all ready for push. I think we got everything done.
Runway 27 off altimeter 3010.
So let's do this because GSX has failed me miserably here. We're going to launch Pushback Express now.
Delta 1231, still waiting for clearance at Syracuse.
Delta 1231, sorry about that. I got distracted for a second. You're cleared to the Detroit Airport, Syracuse 2 departure. Syracuse, then as filed. Maintain 4,000, squawk 4740.
Okay, cleared to Detroit via Syracuse 2. Syracuse is filed. Climb to 4,000, 134.7 and 4740 for Delta 1231.
Delta 1231, read back correct device, ready for taxi.
All right, let's just make sure we've got the
Delta 1231 will do. Thank you.
APU is on here.
128, leave Meyer space, Moncton's closed, radar service terminated.
External power off. We can disconnect the GPU. And one thing I also need to do as well before I forget here is just reset my Sim Toolkit Pro here.
Direct C-app, cross C-app at or above 4,000, cleared RNAV, runway 33, maintain VFR.
All right, so this is going to be a quick one as well. Yeah, there we go. She's tracking. Looks like you guys have got everything on the top there that you need to see. Perfect. I love it.
Clear CAP and maintain about 4,000 feet and VFR
Cockpit to ground.
to RNAV 33.
Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready in a minute.
Bravo 67.
Roger.
This should bring the tug over. Brings the bridge away.
Alpha Tango Alpha Delta Papa Boston Center, squawk 4731.
Does not seem to want to bring the tug over.
Alpha Tango Alpha Delta Papa radar contact, maintain flight level 410.
While we're waiting. Pre-start checklist.
Stand by.
Come on.
Fuel quantity.
Released with 10 tons on board.
Delta 222, runway 28, taxi via Echo Alpha.
Released with 10000 on board.
10090 pounds. Confirmed. Cabin signs.
On.
Pressurization.
Set.
Altimeters.
3024 set left and center.
3024. Set right and cross-checked. Flight instruments.
Set left.
Set right. Oxygen flow.
Checked. Checked left.
Checked right. FMS.
Checked left. Verified.
Radios.
Set left.
Set right. Takeoff brief.
Complete.
Pre-start check complete.
Engine start check.
APU.
On.
Takeoff data set 473996 pounds. V speeds are V1 140, VR 141, V2 152, VFTO 199, flaps 8. Set right.
Set left.
Trims engaged and centered. 7 point. Seatbelt and shoulder harness.
Set checked left.
Checked right.
Set and checked.
Beacon.
On.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Nose wheel steering.
Off.
Doors.
Nope. Guess I gotta close that up. Closed.
Engine start check complete.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Alright, you're gone. Good. Okay. Gonna push into the alley. Brakes are released.
Pushing back.
Magical pushback with no tug because the tug's not appearing, so sometimes you just gotta roll with what happens in Flight Sim.
You are clear behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
Start engine 2.
United 231, you're looking
Start engine
little
2.
bit low on the arrival. Just
Starting engine
confirming
2.
you're descending on
Pushback
the robot.
complete. Set parking brakes, please.
That's it? Fine. I must have tapped the brake when I was trying to turn it. Brakes are set.
Roger. Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear.
Yeah, I just was making sure you weren't going to descend further than that. Now you're doing fine.
Clear to disconnect and go to hand signals. You're clear to disconnect and go to hand signals. You are clear to disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
This is
Yankee Bravo 67,
pre-flight
wind
still.
3104,
Yep, good.
runway 33, clear to land.
Roger, clear to land, runway 33, Yankee Bravo 67.
That's good, thank you.
Yankee Bravo 67, where are you going to be looking to park today?
Engine 2 start complete.
Start engine 1.
Starting engine 1.
That should be far enough for me to make the turn out anyways.
Boston approach 13.0.
Oh, you guys are killing me here. You're killing me here. Must have been break time. Must be break time for my ramp crew. They're just ready to push back. It's 10 feet and then... Okay, you guys are good. We're going for coffee.
That's available.
Now, what ramp is that going to be on?
I'm not sure the name of the ramp. It might be, it's like a 2 parking spot in the, kind of the center. Sorry, I don't have that. I don't have the, a map in front of me. I just have a nav map. Sorry.
No worries. I think I kind of know where you're looking at.
All right. Ready for our little wagon train party down to New York's LaGuardia here.
If you have a spot for me, then I can take any spot that you think is available.
Pre-taxi check.
Yankee Bravo 67.
Yeah, parking's up to you, so I think I understand where you're looking to park now.
Roger. Yankee Bravo 67.
Parker 2717, descend via the J-Fund to arrival, runway 27 south, altimeter 3010.
3010.
Pre-taxi check.
Commencing our descent to J-Fund 2.
Set.
Walker 2717.
NES. Set. Electrics.
Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle. Tighten by pulling on the belt. To release your seatbelt, lift the metal flap on the buckle. It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. Doors are clearly marked with exit signs.
He's doing a flight control check. I'm slowly learning this again. This is a reason why airlines only ever train pilots in one set of SOPs at a time. Pre-taxi check. Set and checked. Let's start again.
Delta 222, fly runway heading.
Let's start again.
The wind 2806, runway 28, clear to takeoff.
Pre-taxi check. Set and checked.
Nose wheel steering.
Armed.
Flaps 8 set.
Flaps 8 required. Flaps 8 confirmed.
Flight controls.
Check left.
Checked right. Pre-taxi check complete.
This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or lavatories. Cabin lights
Taxi light on.
reading light buttons are located above.
Clear on the left.
Runway
Clear right.
0421 Boston Center, fly runway heading, runway 23, clear for takeoff.
Boston Center, Endeavor 49. Sorry, Endeavor 4981 at Syracuse, ready taxi.
Endeavor 4981, runway 28, taxi via Echo Alpha, cross runway 15.
And we're actually pointed north. Can we just taxi Mike Alpha cross 15?
Correction, Endeavor 4981, Mike Alpha, cross 15.
Mike Alpha and across 15, thanks, Endeavor 4981. Alright, Mike Alpha cross runway 15.
Alpha Hotel Foxtrot descend and maintain
This guy's busy today, though. And Boston Center's always busy, though. That's the thing. It's never not busy at Boston Center.
Alpha Hotel Foxtrot, you cut out, just confirm descend and maintain 10,000.
Alright, you just about ready there? There you go, Squibbly. I'm watching you.
Boston, American 207, Syracuse, taxi.
American 207, runway 28, taxi via Echo Alpha, cross runway 15.
Engine anti-ice off.
Echo Alpha, cross 15, American 207.
Select engine anti-ice off. I'll just do it myself.
American 207, let's make it Mike Alpha, cross runway 15.
Mike Alpha, cross 15, American 207.
Syracuse is a busy little airport this morning, though. It's not just us three either. There's a couple other guys here. Didn't know Syracuse was such a popular, busy airport.
Hotel Foxtrot, New York approach 128.12.
Good little scenery I got going on here, though. This is the, if anyone was wondering, too, this is the Sierra Sim Syracuse Airport. I got it on sale just a couple of weeks ago, so it seems to have added a nice flavor to this. It's a very nice looking scenery. Definitely not having any penalty on the performance because it's not a huge airport, but it's nice to have something that's not just default scenery, although I wish all the lights were off during the daytime, but it is kind of dark too. Alright, cabin crew seats for takeoff.
Delta 222, radar contact, say altitude.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please.
Before takeoff, checklist to the line.
Delta 222, thanks, turn left direct Palm Beach.
Before takeoff, checklist down to the line.
Anti-ice.
Off. Clear left.
Clear right.
Strobe on.
Center 4 flight 683, we're going to stop our climb at flight level 340.
Set.
Yes.
Checked.
683, Roger,
Checked.
maintain
Full
flight level
takeoff,
340.
check below the line, complete.
Maintain 340, 4 flight 683.
Before takeoff, checklist down to the line.
Anti-ice.
Before takeoff, checklist. Before takeoff, check to the line. Set.
Yes.
Checked.
Checked. For takeoff, check below the line, complete.
Before takeoff, check to the line.
Number 4981, fly runway heading, wind 2806, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading and clear for takeoff 28, Endeavour 4910.
Cabin has been notified.
November 421, contact
Thrust
off
reversers
approach
armed. Takeoff data set for runway 27. RNAV first fix identified. 4,000 feet pre-selected.
Set.
Fuel,
Delta
mid-fuel
222,
confirmed.
climb and maintain flight level 310.
Checked.
Checked. For takeoff, check to the line, complete.
Alright, below the line, we're cleared to go.
American 207, you missed Alpha. Can you still make it?
I'm walking on 207.
Okay, clear left, clear right.
Clear right.
Get in front of me. Before takeoff, checklist to the line.
Flight attendants, take your seat for departure.
Oh, for
please.
crying out loud, the wrong one. Ah!
Romeo Bravo Boston Center, hello. Climb and maintain flight level 3.
Set and checked.
Cabin has been notified. Crossflow manual. Thrust reversers armed. Takeoff data set for runway 27. RNAV first fix identified. 4,000 feet pre-selected.
Set.
Fuel, mid-fuel confirmed. Takeoff config.
Checked.
Boston Center, Yankee Bravo 67.
Checked. For takeoff, check to the line, complete.
Before takeoff, check below the line.
Yankee Bravo 67, welcome
Yes.
to the Wheeler stack.
On.
Taxi to the ramp
Set.
via
Yes.
Alpha
Checked.
Bravo.
Checked. For takeoff, check below the line, complete.
Runway heading check.
Check.
Taxi. Here we go.
Delta 222.
Set thrust.
Thrust.
Yankee Bravo 67, did you copy that?
Copy that,
80
Boston
knots.
Center.
Checked.
I've landed short on the runway from runway 33. I'm on taxiway Charlie, which is directly in front of taxi stand 44.
V1.
Can I
Rotate.
proceed on Charlie?
Yankee Bravo 67, you can taxi to the ramp at your discretion.
Positive brake.
Roger.
Gear up, please.
Yankee Bravo 67.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Papa Tango Alpha Delta Papa, leaving my airspace shortly. Moncton Center is closed. Radar service
Speed
terminated.
mode, heading mode.
Change approved.
Heading, climb. Climb sequence.
Endeavour 4981, radar contact, say altitude.
Endeavour 4981, 1800.
Endeavour 4981, thanks. Left turn direct, Palm B, climb to maintain flight level 210.
Left turn direct top B, Endeavour 4981, and sorry to say the altitude, 210?
Hey, firm.
Roger.
American 207, runway 28, line up and wait. Expect a short delay for in-trail separation.
Wait to runway 28, American 207.
There we go. Could not get the stupid altitude to capture. That doesn't help. Alright.
Thank you.
So I've got 210 as an altitude, we've got speed 210, and we're going to go direct to Palm B. FMS 1. Speed 220.
Order 2717 Boston, approach 133.0.
Altitude, now we can set 21,000. I probably could get this guy to help. Set flight level 210. Why am I not using this guy more to help me? Honestly. Because I'm not used to thinking that he's even there. After takeoff, check.
4610 Papa Boston Center, where are you now?
After takeoff, check.
Just going to go direct Palm B one more time.
Destination, Manchester,
Here we go.
Then as filed, maintain 3000.
Get the heading mode around.
Walk 47.
Do the wing anti-A's on. We're going to keep that speed up in the climb here.
Here, Papa, read back correct. Advise, ready for taxi, and let me know what runway you'd like.
Alright, and here comes 10,000. So lights off. Seatbelts can go off. Pressurization. Checks. Alright, looking good. Now that we're above 10,000, now we can accelerate. Go ahead and give it 290.
And Delta 1231 to Syracuse, ready for taxi to the active.
07, fly runway heading, wind 2806, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Alright, and there we go. We're in the climb. We're established en route. It's all good. Whew, my God. Significant icing out of 6,000. Okay.
1231 ready for taxi.
I did not see anything on the aircraft, but you know what? Let's throw on that wing anti-ice for a couple minutes here as well, just see if we can't do it. But definitely we're above the cloud level here, so we should be okay now. Oh, I just feel overwhelmed is not the right word, but just I feel like I've done a lot of work here to get this flight going. I feel like my brain is not quite functioning at its full normal capacity anymore. But the important thing is my flight is tracking. Looks like Sim Toolkit Pro is showing the tracking there, and Pilot's Life does show us en route here, so that's good. It does recognize that we're en route. It's a short couple of flights too. Like that's the thing that's kind of blowing me away is how quickly these flights are over. They're
Thank
just
you for
getting
your
up in the air
air
and away you
traffic
go.
service today. Have a great day. Yankee Bravo 67 is signing off.
All right, so we're underway here.
American 207,
Have a quick look.
1,400.
American 207, radar contact, turn left direct Palm B, climb to maintain 10,000.
Left direct Palm B, 10,000, American 207.
All right, so that should have been enough time to melt off whatever contamination has accumulated. So we'll take off all the anti-ice.
Cross right at 7,000.
And Bell 46.
And the APU's not running.
3016.
The door is closed.
And altimeter 3016, Avella 46.
Perfect. Pity the GSX crashed.
1403, leaving Myers Space shortly. Cleveland is closed. Radar service.
Not a good,
frequency change approved.
Was that us? That wasn't us.
Alright, for exchange for United 1403, thank you.
I didn't think so. Because I'm pretty sure we stayed with Boston all the way into New York. Yeah, not a good first impression of GSX Pro. I have used it and it has worked quite well. The only thing that seemed to really create a hang-up was when I was trying to switch the audio device that it was using to match my new cludged-in audio setup that's trying to work with the streaming here because for whatever reason I'm unable to use it in the normal way, and that seemed to crash GSX altogether. GSX has worked quite well for me thus far. I've not had too many issues with GSX. The one issue I kind of did have, and it's not a huge deal. It was a little annoying, but it was not a huge deal. Was parked at JFK just before I started this. I actually had to switch gates because where the tug had parked in front of the airplane, the GSX tug was perched on a part of the scenery, like a stairway that was parked as part of the airport scenery, and so it was the tug was like sort of like sitting up at like a 60-degree angle because it was on top of that, and I guess it does like follow the terrain, so it considers that bridge because it's part of the scenery, it's part of the terrain, so it was just like it looked like it was just sitting there 60 degrees nose up, and it was a little hilarious to kind of look at it. So I moved gates to one where there wasn't a stair right there where the tug wanted to spawn, and GSX Pro and GSX, just like GSX before, it will allow you to move all these kind of spawn positions and customize them for every airport and every gate. There's 20 climbing 21, so it's not like it's a big it's not like it was a big deal to me, but just it was kind of funny how it did that, and I ended up having to pick things. So there's little things like that, but overall GSX for me has worked well. I've used it on probably about a half a dozen to a dozen flights thus far. The pushbacks all seem to work flawlessly. The only trouble with the pushback I had here was the audio issue, because again, and this is more goes towards the audio issues that I've had in this session, not GSX itself. However, that being said, changing the audio device on GSX did seem to crash GSX, so that's a little unfortunate. But it is what it is. It seems to be working just fine. It seemed to work just fine on every other one. So I'm hoping that in the future streams, hopefully I'll have this audio issue sorted out. I don't know why the hell it's not working. It should be working. I should be able to get the audio. I haven't changed any settings. I reinstalled everything. I even actually imported all my previous profiles from the streaming software directly into the reinstalled version on my newly reinstalled Windows. Just didn't. I don't know why. Something's not right there. I don't know. One thing I didn't do was I didn't reinstall the Realtek audio driver. I was just using the default Windows driver. It seemed to work just fine for everything I've done so far. So I'm wondering if that is maybe the issue. I didn't want to take the time to actually reinstall that audio driver. So I'm wondering if that's the issue. Like sometimes all these things working together, you've got such a complex ecosystem. It's hard to know what's throwing things off. Another perfectly typical case in point here was self-loading cargo here and getting stuck with the jet bridges and sort of clunking between jet bridges are here and not. All these jet bridges are GSX's World Jet Bridge implementation. So GSX Pro kind of comes in two parts. It's got your traditional GSX, which has all your ground vehicle handling, but then it's got a second part where it replaces all your jetways throughout your sim, and it replaces them at every jetway at every airport in the world, and puts customized jetways at every airport so that you're not getting the same gray metal jetway everywhere, but you get a variety of different jetways depending on the airport you're at. So they've actually defined a file for every airport around the world. What you can do is you can disable them if you have like a custom airport scenery that you'd rather use that has better jet bridges. But for all the default airports, it improves the visual. But I guess that and the self-loading cargo don't like each other. It's something about those new jet bridges I think is causing the issue, because self-loaded cargo never seemed to have this issue before. Now I have GSX Pro installed. That's my guess though. There's so much complexity when you start running so many add-ons at the same time. And I do have, looking at my taskbar down here, I've got what have I got here? Aside from the simulator itself, I've got Pilot's Life, I've got Self-Loading Cargo, I've got vPilot, I've got Sim Toolkit Pro, I've got the FS2 crew, and FSU IPC running to keep a Pilot's Life happy. So I've got all these different pieces of software running in the background. guarantee that at some point some of them are going to become incompatible. It's a little frustrating, but you know, that's kind of what we go for when we're going for
Endeavour 4981, proceed direct Kingston.
better immersion. Direct Kingston, Endeavour 4991. Direct Kingston, IGN, execute. Trying to keep me ahead of the traffic there, probably. All right, this is going to happen pretty quick, so let's start setting up for this arrival already because we are leveling crews and it's going to happen quickly here. So I'm going to go here. New York Center is still, or New York arrival is still online, so we still got a JFK ATIS running. Let's go and check this here in vPilot. So we got Delta now. We had Bravo when we left. Now we got Delta 360 at 810 miles, broken 3600, 13 degrees, 3018. Approaching
Papa, radar contact.
ILS runway 31 right, visual 31 left, departing runway 31 left, operator transponder mode, Seattle taxiways, runways.
Papa, thanks.
All right, so yeah, that's what we set up. We're going to go ahead and close this down and bring up. I haven't even bothered to switch the flight plan because we're going back to the same place, so I still have access to the same airports as before. Now we just need to remove the SID and add in the Kingston arrival and the ILS to runway 31 right. All right, so let's just first of all quick check out this ILS here, get this programmed in. 111.5 on a course of 314. 111.5. GLD not armed.
Delta 1231,
Glide
climbing
not
to
armed?
2,200 for 4,000.
Why is Glide not armed?
Delta 1231 Boston Center, radar contact. Proceed direct to Hank. Climb and maintain flight level 3.
Okay.
Direct Hank and up to flight level
111.5,
320, Delta 1231.
111.5, 314. So we'll figure that out. If somebody can help me out, if I can get one of my FOs to look that up and figure out what a GLD not armed means. That would be very helpful while we try and set this up. 111.5 and 314 was the inbound course, so we're direct.
4981 stairs.
Endeavour 4981, we're indicating 315.
American 207 stairs.
American 207, we're flying 325.
American 207, do not exceed 290 knots for the climb.
290 knots, less in the climb. 420.
Delta 222, thanks. Cross Lally at and maintain flight level 200.
Cross Lally, maintain 200.
All right, so 315 is set. Go back to FMS mode. Set inbound course 315 on your side. Set course on your side 315.
1231, leave Meyer space shortly. Cleveland Center is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Over to advisory, Delta 1231. Thanks for your help. Good day.
Don't know why he changed the trend. I do, because he misheard something I said, which is fine. So let's just get the ILS 212. So we're going to set 220 here for the barrel mins. There's 220. Right, looks like he was setting his stuff there. And let's just have a quick look at the Kingston arrival as well. And just see. Lolly expect flight level 200. Lendy expect flight level 190. So Lolly. That's why he wanted us to 210, so he can descend us to 200 slash 20000 slash 190. All right. So GLD not armed. What the heck is GLD not armed on a on a CRJ? Because I don't know, and I don't have a CRJ QRH, so I can't even pull anything out. So I'm gonna finish setting up this arrival. We'll deal with it in a minute here. Looks like a pretty VMC day, so let's just get this whole thing kind of this whole arrival ready to go here. I'm gonna Google it in a minute if I don't find anything else. So first of all, we're gonna do this. Are you ready for the approach briefing? Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're starting off with the Kingston 1 arrival into New York's Kennedy Airport. 20-2 Alpha, the 2nd of December 2021. Speed restriction, procedures applicable to turboprops, turbojets capable of operating at or above 190 and 250 greater. That's both us. Kingston, Lolly, Door, Lendy. So Kingston, Lolly, that's where the 200 expect is. Door and Lolly expect 190. And then direct LaGuardia VOR. After that, we get vectors around for. We are planning for an approach the ILS runway 31 right into New York's Kennedy here.
4981 cross Lolly at and maintain flight level 200.
Lolly at and maintain flight level 200, Endeavour 4981. Okay, 200 set for Lolly. So 111.5 is set on both sides, and the final approach course 314 set both sides. Zulab the 900 feet for the final approach fix. And the ILSDA of 212, so I got 220 barrels set. The touchdown zone at 13 feet, so the LFE is at 20, and the MSA is highest northwest of the JFK VOR at 2,900 feet. Missed approach is straight ahead to 1,800 feet, then a climbing left turn 4,000 outbound on the LaGuardia. 207 radial to the Mofa intersection and hold at 4,000. Radar required for procedure entry. Simultaneous approach is authorized. VGL side glide. Let's glide path not coincident. 3 degree slope. Pappy's right. MLSR. RVR 1800 or 1/2 mile. So that all looks good. And that's going to be 21 descending 20. We're going to wait a little bit before we start down on that one. And what are we doing here? All right, gate.
Double 6 Romeo Bravo. Just what fix are you direct to currently?
All right, so let's go the other way. Let's go Syracuse back to JFK. And there's an Endeavour scheduled at 36 minutes, supposed to go to gate Bravo 43. So Bravo 43, where the heck is Bravo 43 going to be here? So parking gates.
222 contact New York approach 128.12.
If I had to wager a guess, I'm going to say we're going back here again. So Bravo 43, which we don't have, so I don't think these are in there, so we're probably going to park at Bravo 41. So, anyways, so that's going to be a Hotel Bravo entry we're looking at, most likely. All right. Terrain is not too much of an issue. 3,000 feet over Manhattan. Weather, it's broken at 3,500. Should be fine. Operational. I've got no MELs, no TAMs. Let's just have a quick look through here for anything that affects us. Center line markings, not standard. That's all kind of fine. 3-1 right. Anything threats? 3-1 right. Approach procedures. ILS or look 3-1 right. Straight in look. Minima. That's not going to affect us. All right. Nope. That all looks good. Any questions?
No questions.
I don't like to lose 1,000 feet by Lolly, so it's not going to be much here. What else has happened lately? There's some other neat stuff happening. Oh yeah, so we have to figure out what this GLD not armed is. I'm going to just Google it on the other computer here so I don't mess up the streaming computer. Ground lift dumping is not armed. An airplane is in either approach. Okay, so it's ground lift dumping, not armed. And so what I did at some point was I manually disarmed that. That's all I did. There you go. GLD not armed. So that's the ground spoilers, and they were manually disarmed for whatever reason. Aha. All right, so what else new happened? So one thing that you guys probably are aware of, hopefully, are aware of, and something that is really awesome, is there is a new traffic software, free traffic software for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Probably most of you guys have seen this. Let me just see if I can pull it up here. And so in order to use it, you need fly-by-wires installer, and it comes in fly-by-wires installer, fly-by-wires installer. All right.
Alpha 6 Romeo Bravo, leave Myers Space, New York Center is closed, radar service terminated.
VS minus 800, it's becoming too much, we're only losing 1,000 feet here. And so it's called
22 Alpha Bravo, radar contact.
FS Live Traffic Liveries, or FSLTL, and you can see here it's now integrated into the fly-by-wire installer. This is really neat. I played this a little bit. It's really neat. It has a whole bunch of, so first of all, it has a whole bunch of AI models that you can download. There's about 900 in total combinations of liveries and airframes that you can download, and the collection is being improved constantly.
207 in the descent, do not exceed 280 now.
280.
And there's a lot of aircraft. Basically,
4981, contact New York approach 128.12.
12812 for the New York approach, Endeavour 4981, good 8. 12812. So a lot of the Fly AI library that was around for the P3D era is being used in this library. So they got approval from the authors. It's not like they're stealing the work or anything, but they got approval from the authors and everybody they could get approval from. They've added the models and the liveries here into Microsoft Flight Simulator. So it's a really, really easy setup. That's one of the best things of all. New York approach, hello again, Endeavour 4981, flight level 200, across Lolly level, information Delta.
Endeavour 4981, New York approach, good afternoon. Expect ILS with 31 right approach.
Playing the ILS 31 right, Endeavour 4981. This is literally a one-click installer pretty much. When you run fly-by-wire, pretty much all you do is click the install button. You have one option, which is where do you want to install it, which is generally in your community folder. You help point in the right direction, and that's it. It downloads and installs everything itself. Super easy. If you thought AIG was difficult, this is super, super easy. Really nice models. Most of the models you've seen today, these are now FSLTL models. So the nice thing is that FSLTL is designed to be compatible with VATSIM as well as with its own traffic injection system. So it's designed for VATSIM. It's designed with VATSIM in mind, and so it comes directly with its own VMR file that it puts right into your community folder, right next to all the liveries that get downloaded. It's got its own VMR file. Just load that. All you've got to do. So step 1 is download all the liveries. Step 2 is load the livery file into your FSLTL rules into your vPilot. Boom, you now have all these models in VATSIM. It'll take you about 2 to 3 minutes of effort, plus probably maybe 5 or 10 minutes for the downloads to happen in the background. But it will take almost no effort at all on your part to get this done. Oh, stop hunting for a head for an... I don't even know what it's trying to do anymore here. What is it doing here? We've passed Lolly, but for some reason... Okay, we're just going to go direct to door because it seems to be kind of stuck here in a loop where it didn't pass close enough to Lolly, and so it's not going to pass. And now it's going to try and loop back to Lolly if I leave it. So, but yeah, FSLTL works really well. And then the other neat feature is the traffic injector. So if you're flying on VATSIM and it's quiet, or if you're just flying offline, it will inject traffic into the sim. What it'll do is it'll take traffic data from Flight Sim Radar, FS Radar 24, or Flight Radar 24, excuse me, Flight Radar 24, and inject traffic into your sim based on that. So if I actually start this here, I can do this. It shouldn't normally do this while you're running VATSIM.
16,000, altimeter 3018.
Because it'll add a lot of airplanes that you won't know about. But what it'll do is it'll then add AI airplanes into the sim. It won't control them directly. So what it'll do is it'll inject these in, and it'll let the sim's AI traffic system control these airplanes. So once you've started, once it's in the sim, then the sim takes over and controls it. So it's not like it's going to perfectly match real world. What it does is it takes the real world data and says, all these airplanes, I'm going to put them in the sim where they should be at their starting location right now. But then the sim is going to control them. So it might have airborne airplanes, it has airplanes at the gates. It picks all the airplanes within a certain range. If you can limit.
4981, depart Lendy, heading 180.
Depart Lendy, heading 180, Endeavour 4981. So it's inserting all this traffic into the sim, so and it keeps track of it. I have a limit set of 85 IFR aircraft, which it seems to have exceeded now. Hopefully it's going to cull a few of those. Oh, it just crashed. That's the first time that's crashed. Probably because it tried to inject too many things. It's supposed to limit it, but New York being such crazy airspace.
207 to Lendy, heading 180, expect 31 right.
Max IFR aircraft 85. So it's supposed to limit how many it injects, but it's a really neat system, and very little effort required on your part compared to what was required for AIG. And if you just want the VATSIM models, you don't even have to download this injector at all. It's separate. You can just download just the base models, have all these VATSIM models if you like the injector. And I kind of like it when I'm flying on VATSIM, but it's really quiet and there's nothing around. I'm flying on early in the morning or something with no controllers.
6 miles from
no traffic or anything. I like to roll that up just to see some other airplanes in the sim. So it's got all these different sims. It shows you the aircraft, the routing, what they're doing right now. So a lot of them are parked right now, which is why it's kind of overloaded because there's 3 major airports around New York. Tons and tons of airplanes being loaded here. Too many, really, to keep track of in this sim. And it's going to start to penalize my performance here as I get closer to these major airports. But it's a really neat system, really, really easy to use, and even if you just want some good VATSIM models. And you can, the nice thing is that the VATSIM models are compatible with other systems. So just to show you here, you don't have to delete your AIG models. You just control where is your priority. So my custom rules, I have my FSLTL rules above my model matching magic, which is why all my AIG rules. So first the system will go through and try and pick up a rule that matches
No
FSLTL. First it'll go through Canadian Express here, but then if it doesn't have that, it'll try to match FSLTL, and if it doesn't have FSLTL, then it'll go to my model matching magic, which is my AIG airplanes.
Taxi straight ahead on Delta, Hotel Echo Foxtrot.
Which is my AIG airplanes, and then last but not least, it'll pick the generic models. So you can use it with other model sets as well, and it will actually recognize other model sets and use them as well. So even here, it's starting to cull airplanes. So now it's kind of keeping it at a constant 85. It's trying to delete some airplanes and add new ones to try and kind of keep the balance, keep it 85, keep them relevant to what's within, you know, the whatever the limits I've set, so that it doesn't completely overwhelm my system with 175 airplanes all trying to fly on the AI system. So I'm just going to kill it because it's going to kind of screw up what we're doing right now. But I will definitely, once we kind of get on the ground in New York, I'll try to show you what it looks like. But it's a really neat system, really easy to use. Greater Wise, nice to see you again. Oh, I know. I spent so much time downloading AIG. So the liveries are just included with the model. So as soon as you download this this whole package, the models and the liveries are all included. So just download that package and everything is there. And they're going to issue periodic updates as they add more aircraft, as they add more liveries. So it's going to continue as long as you run the fly-by-wire updater. And I know Squibbly, for example, you have the fly-by-wire 320. I know you've got the Phoenix as well. But you know, anyone who has the fly-by-wire 320 and runs this updater, you can run it and at the same time see if your base models are up to date. So I've got
4981, descend and maintain 16,000, Canadian altimeter 3018.
Down to 16,000 on 3018, Endeavour 4091. All right, so we're in heading mode now because we're pretty much at Lendy.
Descend and maintain 8,000.
16,000.
Okay, approach. Thank you for the flight. I hope you have a good day.
VS.
Bye.
Minus 1,000. And we're on heading 1803018, he said. So let's go ahead and set that up. Anyway, so I'm running a little short on time to talk about it, but it really is such a useful system.
Delta 222, turn left heading 120, descend and maintain 4.
So for grader-wise, if you want to figure out what's bottlenecking your system, Microsoft Flight Simulator will tell you what's bottlenecking your system. So if you put on developer mode, if you go into, I forget what menu it's on, but in one of the general options you can turn on developer mode. It puts a bunch of menus at the top of the screen, and then one of them, I forget exactly which menu, but you can turn on an FPS tracker, and then in the corner of your screen, as you're flying, you'll have an FPS tracker. Not only will it track your FPS, right below it, it will tell you what is throttling your system. So it will tell you which particular system is causing your bottleneck. So if you're not sure, check that. Usually it'll tell you whether it's the CPU or the GPU.
4981, descend and maintain 13,000.
13,000 ever, 4981. It'll tell you right on the screen what's bottlenecking your system. So I was playing with it for a while. My GPU is the bottleneck, and it's almost always. But it switches and updates in live time. So even as you go, as you know, as the tasks switch, as the scenery load increases or decreases, as the load on your processor increases, decreases, you will it'll tell you what is the bottleneck. So if you're unsure what's causing the bottleneck in your system, turn on developer mode just for 1 or 2 flights and just try it, fly around a little bit and see. Probably the RAM is not the bottleneck unless it's really slow to get access to your RAM. It's either the CPU or the GPU that's going to really bottleneck your system. For me, it's the GPU. It's definitely the GPU 99% of the time. Every once in a while, the CPU, something heavy will happen to the CPU for a few minutes and it'll bottleneck the system. But most of the time, it's for me, it's the GPU. But yeah, if you're not sure, go and check it. Even if you only have 16 gigs, that should be enough for Microsoft Flight Simulator to run. I have 6 gigabytes of video memory and 32 gigabytes of onboard memory, but as you can see here, like, look at your processes. Like, my sim is still only using 4.5 gigs of my 32 gigs of memory, so it's not using close to the full amount of memory. It's using a lot of power, but I doubt that the RAM is probably the limit. It's going to be either your CPU or your GPU, one of those two things. Microsoft Flight Simulator is very well optimized to sort of figure out what is the best way to make the use of your resources. I'm generally impressed. I'm generally impressed with how well it works. I don't have a particularly powerful video card, but it seems to make the most of balancing the load between the two, trying to give you the best graphics it can. That's what's impressed me, I think, more than anything in a lot of ways about Microsoft Flight Simulator is how well this sim optimizes your system. I mean, it is possible, depending on what you've got set up. I mean, it is possible.
American 207, descend and maintain 16,000 altimeter 3018.
16,000, American 207.
But I don't think it should be. It really should not be using that much RAM. Let's see here. Now you got me curious. Like, okay, yeah. No, actually, you're right. I do show 15 gigs of RAM in use. I wonder what all is using all those gigs of RAM, but something's using it all up. So maybe it is the 16 gigs of RAM that is a bottleneck. Huh, I learned something new. And yeah, I wouldn't want my hard drive. There's L2 capture. I wouldn't want to use my hard drive for extra RAM. So, you know, RAM is not that expensive these days either. If it's really that much of an issue, I would say that RAM is probably one of the cheapest upgrades you can do on your system. I'm gonna pull up my favorite. I can pen a computer's website.
4981, turn left heading 130, descend and maintain 8,000.
Left heading 130 down to 8,000, Endeavour 4981. All right, left 130.
Approach Philip 486, I've got to go around.
Well, 486, fly runway heading climb and maintain.
And I'd forgotten what he said. Can you confirm the altitude one more time for Endeavour 4981?
Under 4981, descent maintain 4000.
4,000, thanks. Endeavour 4981. 4,000. My bad.
Taylor 222, 8 miles from Maldi, turn left heading
Because
to...
memory, even
turn
32
left heading
gigs,
340,
you could usually find a
maintain
deal most of the
3000
time nowadays.
established
Memory
on
is
the local
definitely not
ISS Kid
expensive.
Island with 300
Let's see here. Desktop memory, just to look through it here. 32 gigs, like 120 bucks, 105 bucks on sale. Like just looking just quickly, just right at the top of the screen, some of the sale prices. But
well, 486 and right
for 120 bucks, you can have a 32 gig RAM. So
maintain 3000.
Right 360, maintain 3000.
yeah,
going on
I'm
here.
surprised. I didn't realize it was using that much, but it's not surprising. But yeah, I would say go and get yourself some more RAM.
Well, 486, would you like a visual approach?
It's one of the cheapest things you can do, I think, to improve the performance.
That's negative. I'll be all right. I'll work it out. It's just a sim issue.
Yeah, I guess Black Friday sales will be coming up soon too. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. But that's right there, like $100. Like next to buying a hard drive is one of the cheapest improvements you can do to your computer's performance. All right, descent check.
Pressurization set. Fuel checked. Altimeters.
3014 set left.
3014 set right. Landing data set 4703 pounds. Thrust reversers.
Armed.
Lights.
Set.
Seatbelt sign.
On.
Seatbelt and shoulder harness.
Check left.
Checked right. Approach briefing.
Complete.
Descent check complete.
Alright, so we exceeded 250 knots there. That was my bad.
And 4981, turn left heading 040.
Left 040, Endeavour 4981.
American 207, turn left heading 130, descend and maintain 4000.
Heading 130 down to 4000, American 207.
Taylor 222, wind 320 at 9, runway 31 right, clear to land.
We're going to get some
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing. Thank you.
speed brakes going again here, because we're getting turned into a pretty tight final here by the looks of it.
Well, 486, turn 10 degrees to the right.
10 degrees right.
Alright, actually we're not doing too badly here, as I see the spot there.
Yeah, I think I got everything under control now.
Okay, well, 486,
back off the speed brakes a little bit there.
Spec 20 approach.
All right, did the whole round trip to Syracuse and back, and it was only a little. Basically, it's been almost 3 hours now after the delayed start. It's pretty good. I believe the next one we go to Buffalo and back, so it's a little bit longer, but it's not that much longer. We're doing a lot of really kind of short hopping, which is kind of why I like doing the out and back in one day. I think that kind of works. All right, altitude capture. This will bleed off our speed here nicely.
207, turn left heading 040.
Left heading 040, American 207.
And 4981, 7 miles from Maldi, turn left heading 340, descend and maintain 3000 until established on the local ISS Cleared Island with 31 right approach.
Left turn 340, 3000 until established, cleared the ILS 31 right, Endeavour 4981. Alright, so heading 340. Localized slope are armed. 3,000.
New York approach, good evening, Kodiak November 130 Kilo Echo,
3,000
Red
feet
Peter
set,
Burrows,
TS minus
ready
1,000.
to copy,
Let's go ahead and get it into loc mode here.
Number 130 Kilo Echo, New York departure cleared to
Flaps
Kilo
1.
Charlie
Flaps
Golf
1.
Sierra Airport. Titabo 4 departure, radar vector Solberg, then is filed, maintained 2000, expect 8010 minutes after departure. Departure on this frequency, Squawk 1042.
That's an excellent question. I'm not an expert. Personally, I would try to just replace the RAM entirely. I would not try to mix two different brands of RAM, and it's probably just a superstition, honestly. I'll capture Loc 1. In theory, it should not matter, but I've had cases where I've used two different sets of RAM sticks and they've worked fine, and then I've had cases where I've used two different sets of RAM sticks and they haven't worked fine together. They haven't played nicely together. So personally, considering that like you can get 32 gigs of RAM for like 20 or 30 bucks more than 16 gigs of RAM, just go for the, didn't realize we'd slowed down that much as we leveled off there. I would just say go for the, go for the whole 32 gigs all at once. Just replace all the sticks all at once. I think that'll you probably find you'll get a better performance in the long run out of it.
2078 miles from Maldi, turn left heading 340, descend and maintain 3000.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like it shouldn't really matter, but it does.
Let me. Are you going to make that approach? American 207.
American 207 will try.
Okay, American 207. Turn left heading 340, descend and maintain 3000.
340 heading and down to 3000.
Flaps 8.
American 207.
Flaps 8.
Glide slope.
American 207 cleared for the ILS-1 with you and right approach.
4,000 feet set for the go around.
Delta 222, welcome to Kennedy Test with the ramp via Bravo.
Just gonna make sure I have the airport check
486,
ready to
2
go.
miles from Gump. Proceed direct Gump, descend and maintain 2000. Cleared for RNAV runway 20 approach.
Cleared direct Gump, descend maintain 2000, cleared RNAV 20 approach for Avella 46.
New York approach, good afternoon, Korean Air Force 1, ready for push and start.
This guy is busy today. Got a nice steady workload, that's for sure.
Say your call sign one more time.
Korean Air Force 1, it's Kilo Alpha Fox 001.
Take myself away for a couple seconds, so we got some nice screenshots later of the approach into New York.
Pushing start your discretion, call for taxi.
Call for taxi.
Gear down.
Korean Air Force 1.
And 4981, did I
Gear
clear
down.
you to land?
Endeavor 4981 negative.
4981, wind 330 at 9 runway 31 at clear to land.
31 right, clear to land, thank you, Endeavor 4981. Flaps 20.
New York approach, Southwest 226, over park on Park 3 arrival, currently at 15,000 for 12,000.
American 207, number 2, following CRJ9, 6 miles ahead, wind 330 at 9ers, runway 31 right, clear to land.
Number 2, traffic sector to land, American 207.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Southwest 226, New York approach, very good morning.
Flaps 45.
With C1 right approach, Canadian altimeter 3018, information echo.
4 landing check.
Expecting ILS 31 right for
Down
approach, and we have information echo, Southwest 226.
45. 4 landing check complete.
Check. Visual.
Delta 222, join Alpha on your left.
Join Alpha on our left, we missed Delta Bravo, we'll get there on Echo Alpha.
Okay.
Alright, seems to be flying pretty nicely. It's a very nice looking approach though.
Air 223, sorry. Alpha is on your right. Join Alpha on right.
I wasn't going to say.
500.
LA 486, wind 340 at 9 August 21, runway 20, clear to land.
400.
This one might make me work a little bit more for it.
Autopilot on.
Sync rate 200. 100. 50. 40. 30.
Valley 486,
20.
wind 340 at 9 August 21, runway 20, clear to land.
10.
Cleared to land 20, Villa 486.
Reverse green.
90 knots.
Checked. Not too bad of a landing. I've done definitely worse in this airplane.
And 4981, welcome to Kennedy, taxi to the ramp via Bravo.
Oh, to the ramp via Bravo, Endeavour 491. We're going to the Hotel Bravo entry.
Gotcha.
Alright, Bravo I believe is the first turn, right? Unless I'm mistaken here. Bravo is the outer taxiway. After landing check. And I see you sneaking up behind us, American.
1602.
Zulu 1602, New York departure.
Hey, New York, 1602 here. Do you want us to be one of the climb outs off 31 left today?
Zulu 1602, it will be the score for our nav departure.
Which departure? I didn't see that in the PDC. Score 4, I got it. JetBlue 1602.
Roger, thank you. And 4981, join Alpha on your right.
Okay, we'll join Alpha Endeavour 4981. I think we're too late to make that one, so we'll join in the next one.
Here approach, good evening, Olympic 525 from Kennedy Airport is ready for post-second start. Olympic 525, New York departure. Pushing search for discretion, call for taxi, Kennedy altimeter 23018.
Val's on.
Nice. That looked like a good little landing there.
We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We appreciate your business and hope to see you again on a future flight.
3018.
New York approach, Kodiak, November 130 Kilo Echo, request taxi.
Number 130 Kilo Echo, runway
APU on.
6,
APU is coming
runway, runway 1. I'm sorry, what runway did I give you?
It was runway 6, Kodiak, November 30 Kilo Echo.
Okay. So runway 6 taxi via Quebec, cross runway 1.
Well, that was felt like a bit of a better flight than the first one. I was so frustrated when at the start of this stream, and it definitely, I definitely
Southwest 226 descend.
feeling a little more relaxed and having a little bit more fun now.
Maintaining 90,000.
Yeah, we got it done. It's been pretty good here. It's definitely.
301 vacated whiskey.
Oh, there's a 47 over there.
American 207, welcome
Generic
to Kennedy,
47.
taxi to the ramp via whiskey.
Okay, ramp via whiskey. We're gonna go to Hotel Bravo.
Okay, so in taxi to the ramp via Alpha.
Roger, I'll take Alpha on American 207.
This is one of those shortcomings of the American way. They're always like taxi off to the ramp, but like if you want us to go like the long way around,
New York approach,
you got to say it. Otherwise, I will I will
Colonel Air
assume
Force 1 Heavy.
you want us to go the short way.
31 left, taxi via right, Alpha
Or you don't
Juliet,
care.
Zulu,
So
cross runway 4
you know, I appreciate the speed with which American controllers can do their job because they are very informal and non-specific in a lot of cases. But sometimes that makes it very challenging when there is some potential for ambiguity. Sometimes there is no potential for ambiguity. Sometimes there's only one way to get to your gate via a certain taxiway. But Kennedy's an odd one because Alpha and Bravo are circular taxiways that go around the whole bloody terminal complex. So you can go left or right, and you'll get there eventually. That's where the ambiguity really hinders you. And yeah, it's one that just bugs me a little bit. Like, we don't have to be ambiguous, but we kind of do it anyways now out of habit. This, I believe, is hotel. And Hotel Bravo should be right after these buildings here. But it goes to bite you in the rear end if you give an ambiguous instruction, and you think people are going to do something, but they're going to do something else because your instruction was ambiguous. It was non-specific as to whether to do it this way or that way. Now, is this Hotel Bravo? This is Hotel Bravo. All right, we got Hotel Bravo. We should have the APU up and running. Nope, we do not, for whatever reason. Buddy does not want to start the APU here, so I'm going to do it.
Just a second. Okay, fly the TW for departure, wind 340 at 11, gust 19, runway 6, clear for takeoff.
Okay, now he's doing it.
for departure, clear for takeoff.
Still get the occasional little stutter there. You guys saw that too, especially when you look around really quickly with track IR. But before I was getting stutters like every couple of seconds. It was very frustrating to deal with. All right, taxi light off. We should be parking down there at those gates, but I don't think there's even a marshal. At least there's no equipment parked in them. Self-loading cargo will understand the jet bridge anyways. It doesn't work at all without the jet bridges. Just wish I had GSX, because I love the idea of having marshalers again. Oh, such a nice thing. I've missed them so much. That was one of the best features of GSX, was having marshalers at the gate you're going to. And now we've lost that ability again. That was great fun. If you want to stick around for a couple minutes, we'll take a screenshot. If Isaac can slide in here between us, we can take a nice little screenshot to end the whole thing nicely.
Cal's on.
Olympic 525, runway 31 left, taxi left, Bravo, Juliet, Zulu, cross runway 4 left.
Stop turning the anti-ice on. All right. Oops. Not that one. That one.
Left on Bravo,
Thank
Juliet,
you, I will.
Zulu, to runway 31 left and cross runway 4 left.
Shutdown check.
Shocks and brakes.
In and on.
Seatbelt sign.
Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please open doors. Thank you.
Off.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Southwest 226, turn left heading 260, descend and maintain 5,000.
Set.
Left 260, descend and maintain 5,000, Southwest 226.
Off.
Beacon.
Off.
Nose wheel steering.
Off.
Transponder standby.
Number
Shutdown
130,
check.
Kilo Echo radar contact, turn left heading 280,
bridge
climb and
over here.
maintain 6,000.
And that's it.
Left 280,
We are here. We are done.
Kodiak November 130 Kilo Echo.
Another flight successfully completed. Let's go ahead and submit this flight, and we have
Go
got...
ahead, flight tech. Go ahead, flight tech.
And we've got 2 flights done. Now we're deboarding successfully. We've got our flights registered. Next, we're going to Buffalo and back as a turn. So that'll be a little bit longer, but it's not that much further. Syracuse is here. Buffalo's here. Buffalo is... Syracuse was 181, Buffalo's 261, so it's another 40 or 50 miles, but it's not that much longer. So I think it's another case where we'll probably be able to get the whole thing done in one go. That's my hope, anyways.
Is it Korean Air Force 001?
A1.
Okay, Korean Air Force 001. Yes, you can turn left on 31 left, and then again left on Yankee, and then continue on Juliet Zulu.
Thank you. Left on 31 left on Yankee, then continue on Juliet, Korean Air Force 1.
New York JetBlue 1602 is coming out of Foxtrot for 31 left.
Juliet 1602, runway 31 left, taxi right, Alpha, Golf, Zulu, cross runway 4 left.
Alpha Golf, Zulu, cross 4 left, 31 left, JetBlue 1602.
Yeah, there we go. Welcome to Kennedy, guys. Nice little screenshot right there.
New York approach, Canada 2A at flight level 220, radio contact.
Canada 218 New York approach.
There we go.
Depart Hawker.
Now we got a nice little array of aircraft, guys. Thank you so much. That was fun. I needed that. I've been working really hard the last couple of weeks studying. Working incredibly hard.
For runway 04, Air Canada 280.
Air Canada 280, that's negative.
So yeah, I really kind of needed that time just to kind of relax, enjoy, unwind, remember why we do the flight simming, why it's fun. Sometimes it's not fun, sometimes it's just stressful, sometimes it's fun. Today started out as stressful, but you guys really helped bring it together and make it fun at the end. So thank you guys for flying with me today. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. I just had fun. More than anything today, I was really just about having a little bit of chance to relax and unwind, and I think we got that done. So before we go, actually, I do want to do the one thing, which is show you what it looks like if I actually do FSLTL here. So let's do this here. Let's try and get FSLTL to run here and see how many airplanes we end up with here at Kennedy when it runs. So here's FSLTL running in the corner. It's going to take a couple seconds to start downloading stuff. Let's see if it, if I can just move this down here, and you'll start to see an untold number of airplanes populate here. It takes about a minute or so for the first injections to start as it just sort of logs in, figures out where you are, figures out where to draw airplanes, but once it's figured that out, it just goes to town here. KJFK using 67 additional parked aircraft. And there you go. Now you can have a very realistic and busy looking airport here. A whole bunch of parked airplanes. It doesn't know what VATSIM has drawn, so as you can see, it parked a JetBlue right here, right behind American here, just because it doesn't know what VATSIM is putting into the sim, because VATSIM is not part of the AI system. But it creates a lot of airplanes very quickly. Is it penalizing my frame rate? Let's look here. Well, now we're doing 22 frames, 23 frames. So yeah, having over 100 airplanes in the system, yeah, it does penalize your frame rate. So you do have to accept that if you want that kind of system where you do have that many airplanes. That's a lot more objects to draw, and the sim has to think about all of them and guide them around the field. So it definitely makes it look nice and busy, but you are going to take a performance hit. And FSLTL has been optimized with the idea of AI traffic in mind, so it's not trying to be a performance hit, but if you were kind of working towards the extremes of your performance to begin with, if you're kind of pushing the limits of what your system could do to begin with, it will really bring it to its knees. But you can customize FSLTL. There's a configuration file. You can drop the number of airplanes you have in half if you want to try and keep your performance up there if you need to. So there's lots of ways to deal with it, but it's a great way to do it. And look at the models. Like the models there's a lot of really nice models in here. If I just start zooming around here and just have a look down here.
Turn right heading 280.
These AI models are really quite nice. I mean, when you get really close to them, they're not that super detailed. But from as far away as you're going to be, 50 or 100 feet away, and there's one of those GSX tugs in the wrong spot. But when you're as far away as you're going to be from these airplanes, they look really good. This row of airplanes here looks fantastic from this distance. If you get up really close, yes, they're not optimized for really close viewing. You know, they're relatively simple models to keep the frame rate down because you're going to have 50 of them. But from this far away, this line of airplanes looks great. As you're taxiing around the airport, the distance that you're at from these airplanes, 100, 200 feet away, they're going to look great. So I highly recommend FSLTL. I think Oh, GSX. OTS Wednesday 2000. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday cannot do that. I will be at work at that time, unfortunately. I'm really sorry. I would love to do it. I would love to be there and help you out for sure, but I will likely be at work at that time. I might make it home to the tail end of that. We will see, but I don't want to make any commitments and promises at this point. And then if you look all around this airport, like the FSLTL has now put airplanes everywhere, and they're relatively accurate too. This is the other thing too, like the locations of these airplanes. It's not just random. Like it's because it's taken from real world data. It can be a fairly realistic array of aircraft out there. So overall, I think it looks pretty good. I think it adds a lot to it. And best of all, it's super easy to install, super easy to run, super easy to shut it down if you don't like it. It does have a little menu here. I don't know if you noticed this, but it does have its own little menu here. You can reset it completely or just remove airplanes that are close to you in case you're on final and if you're using the integral air traffic control built into MSFS. If it can never get you in because there's so many AI traffic, you can remove other aircraft on final so that you get into land. But so some neat little thoughts like that. But basically very hands off. One click installs, one click to fire it up really, and that's it. Shut it down. All the airplanes are gone. My performance comes back again. But yeah, I'm very impressed with this FSLTL. I think it's I think it's going to do wonders for VATSIM especially. It's going to do great things for VATSIM. It's going to make VATSIM it's so much easier. AIG was there before, but literally one click. Once you got the fly-by-wire installer installed itself, one click in there installs the whole package, and one time only you've got to load that file into vPilot. Even if you update the FSLTL models, that file in the folder gets updated automatically. As long as vPilot is still referencing the same file, it will see the updates. So it's great. It's everything we kind of needed to this point. So I'm happy to see it's finally out. Hopefully this will help push a few more people into VATSIM with some good model matching. In the meantime, I'm going to call it a day there, everybody. I hope you had fun. I certainly did, and I hope to see you guys all again real soon on VATSIM. I'll try not to make it 3 weeks. I don't make any promises because, again, training and studying and everything is very busy, but I would like to do it more often than I do. We'll squeeze it in whenever we can. In the meantime, guys, have a great week. Squibbly, I will try to make it to your OTS, no promises. And everybody else out there, fly safe and stay friendly and stay healthy, and we'll see you guys all real soon.